What is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline Live, episode 38, guys. We are moving right along. I can't believe we're at episode 38. As always, guys, joining us today, Ryan from Mr. Mom Collectibles and Chris from Collecting Madness. Unfortunately, guys, Lane will not be joining us tonight. Everybody, please give your thoughts and prayers to Lane. We just actually briefly just talked to him before we started. He had a crazy snowstorm where he lives, so his power is out and may be out through tomorrow. So he tried to join us, but of course, without his power being active and functioning, he wasn't able to. So Lane is with us in spirit tonight, guys. So no Lane tonight. And also CNB may be joining us later in the stream, but most likely he won't be here because he had a meeting to attend. But however, we will have Sean, of course, joining us later and possibly another guest. I don't want to say anything yet because I don't know if he's joining us, but if he does, you'll see we have a surprise guest coming later. So we'll see how that works out. But how you doing, Chris? How you doing, Ryan? How's everybody doing tonight?
We are good.
Very
Good
good.
to be on time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm shocked. I don't even know who this guy is below me.
I know. And I know Chris is in a good mood. His team's been just winning nonstop. So, I mean, he's in a great mood. He was kind of bragging before the stream started, huh?
Call me on time, Chris.
Yeah. See, he came early so he could brag about the Eagles winning. That's why he came early.
I can't brag too much because we got one more game.
That's true. Yeah. Don't jump the gun. But guys, we got some cool stuff to talk about. Obviously, Hot Toys is probably still gearing up for some madness after the Chinese New Year, but we have some cool stuff to talk about nonetheless. But let's say what's up. We got 35 people in the chat already. Awesome to see right at the beginning of the stream. So let's say what's up to everybody. We got our early crew here as always, of course. My boy Raka was actually here long before we went live. I'm sure he's really excited about the Back to the Future stuff like we are after I look at this comment here. He said, Biff, all we need is Biff, regular Biff, future Biff, old man Biff, Western Biff, high school Biff, alternative timeline Biff. We're going to talk about Biff for sure. Insane One says we need all the Biffs. CSI, hey, butthead. McFly, I love it, dude. I love seeing all the Back to the Future hype. I'm really excited to talk about these Back to the Future figures. Let's see else we got. Some guy, always good to see you, my friend. He said, yo, my favorite peoples. David sharing some knowledge with us. Yes, guys, the Stormtrooper Commander, Stormtrooper Commander is 20% off on Sideshow right now for a daily deal. So if you haven't picked it up yet or you're trying to army build, I think that's a really good price to get in at. Brings it down to I believe 175-ish. So definitely take a look at that if you're trying to get that figure in your collection. Payton here as always, dropping the popcorn in the chat. Some guy says, let's go Thursday night with Hot Toys Hotline. Smash, kick, punch that like button and subscribe. Yes, guys, I'm happy to say we hit our 750 goal, and that is thanks to the people here on the panel as well as you guys in the chat. So thank you so much for that, guys. Now we're on to 1,000. You guys knew the 1,000 goal was coming, so we're jumping right to 1,000. So 1,000 is our next goal, and as you guys know, we will be doing a giveaway. So stay tuned for the announcement of that, but it's going to be a fun one. We will be giving away a hot toy as well as some other things, but I'm really, really excited to do the 1,000 giveaway, guys. I love being able to give back to you guys, and everybody on the panel loves giving back as well. So we're really excited to do that with you all. Who else do we have here in the chat tonight? Carlito here, as always, says, hey, everyone. Good to see you, Carlito. As always, I hope you're doing well. OG is here. OG says, hello, everyone. Good to see you, OG. My boy, HG, says, what's up, everybody? Dropping the phone Hot Toys Hotline emoji in the chat. Guys, I can't wait till we hit 1,000 so we could do some custom emojis and stuff, some Hot Toys Hotline emojis. I'm really excited to do that. Hey, maybe even for my boy Insane One, we're going to do a tapeworm emoji. Ty says, hey, everyone. Good to see you, Ty. My boy Ekwan. Hey, y'all. Good to see you, Ekwan. Loco Lou says, what's popping, people? Hit that like button. Appreciate it, Loco Lou. I hope you're doing well. Kinky Sphincter, my friend, here as always. Good to see you. Who else we got? Austin. So, guys, I tried to get Austin on tonight, but Austin's got his Instagram live going on. So if you guys are on Instagram, maybe you can have both open at one time and check Austin out. I believe his name is just Austin_Nicholas on Instagram. Definitely check him out. Steve Showcase says, hello, watching while I work. Steve is another one I tried to get on tonight, but I didn't realize his time zone is so different than ours. He was actually, it was like 3 o'clock for him when I asked him.
I streamed with him once before. He's I think he's West Coast, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Everybody's talking about footballs. Matt said Chiefs fan here. Chris doesn't like that.
I already commented. He said he wouldn't hold it against me, but I was saying like I thought we were friends.
That's good. That's good. Obsidian, good to see you, dude. I love the profile picture. Very fitting for the name Obsidian, huh? Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about it. The company in particular we're going to talk about, I'm very, very excited to see what they do because they seem like they're ready to do whatever we wanted. So they've been kind of showing that so far. Sluggin16, good to see you again as always. Good evening to you as well. Let's see. And then, of course, as always, guys, OG is dropping the links to everybody's channels, and those are also in the description. So definitely check that out. And Alejandro is back, one of our only viewers watching from Facebook. Good to see you, Alejandro. He said, when do y'all think Sideshow will start shipping the DeLorean? Hopefully soon. It's obviously those are big boxes, right? So it's going to be a bit of a project for them to get those in. It's going to take a little bit to get to them. I would imagine, if I had to guess, and this is a complete shot in the dark, maybe towards the end of February into the beginning of March, if I had to guess. Because obviously now they just started shipping a few more figures, and we're going to take a look at who's in stock now. But because of that, I think that may kind of fall towards the end of February, maybe early March, maybe even sooner. We never know. Of course, like I said, that's just a shot in the dark. But Boba Fettuccini, my favorite username. What's up, my friend? He says, smash that like button like it owes you money. Maybe it does owe you money, and you have to smash it because of that. But all right, guys, we're going to get into the beginning of our topic here. But before we do that, Oilers just pointed something out. This is like some X-Files level stuff here. He says, Collective Madness, why is there 7 collectors that have a glass corner set up and blonde hair with a beard just like you? Of course, he's referring also to Austin here. He said it freaks him out. Yeah, maybe this is some sort of conspiracy with DTOF collectors. I was a former DTOF collector myself, though I'd like to say I don't look like Chris or Austin, but very interesting. Fat Batman, what's up, everybody? Fat Batman is so funny. The other day, I was looking at a listing on Mercari on a figure I was interested in purchasing, and unless somebody stole your name, I think it was you on Mercari, and I was so mad when it sold because you had it for a very good price. It was the John Wayne caustic plastic figure. So if that was you, shout out to you because that was a great price. I was so mad that I missed out on that because that was a figure I considered. It sold out on Sideshow. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll buy it eventually, and I regret not buying it from you if that was you. But all right, guys, we're going to get right into it. Of course, we have a lot to talk about in terms of Back to the Future and some other releases. But of course, guys, we're going to get right into the Mark 1 because our boy, shout out as always to Reagan from MRC Collection Ventures. He did put up his review of the Mark 1. And of course, we're all really excited. If you're an Iron Man fan or a Marvel fan, we're all really excited to talk about the Mark 1. Guys, this is actually the 3rd iteration of the Mark 1. We've had 2 previous releases. Both of those were fully plastic. Whereas this one is our die-cast release finally of the Mark 1. So really excited to take a look at this. Fat Batman says that was him. Dude, you should have read my mind and known that I wanted that figure. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, shout out to you. That was a great price, dude. I was like, damn, I should have made an offer on it. But yeah, that was a good price. That was a figure that I kind of had in the back of my mind. And I was like, if I get it eventually, cool. If it sells out, I'll hunt it down eventually. So when I saw it for that price, I'm like, damn, I'm mad. But yeah, check out Fat Batman on Mercari. He's got really great prices. He said, Austin said, Chris is the taller version of me. You guys might be similar in height. You guys probably are pretty close.
To say he might be taller than me. He's the stronger version of me, though.
Oh, okay, that's fair. But hey, Chris in his line of work, he's got some heft. He's a strong guy. He's throwing things around like no tomorrow. So don't underestimate him. Oh, stop.
When you get your packages and they're damaged, it's probably this guy right down below me.
Or if they're stolen and you have to file a claim, it's probably Chris's fault. Just saying.
That's how you got so many figures in DTOFs.
But guys, everybody in the chat, who's picking up the Mark 1? And also, we're going to a panel as well. We'll get your thoughts. Me personally, I'm really excited for this one. You guys know, I had a small list of things that kind of slipped by me on Sideshow, right? And I've told many people this story, but this was the first figure that really got me thinking about getting into Marvel. And at the time I did resist. I was like, dude, it's the Mark 1. This is the pivotal Marvel film that got me into the Marvel universe, got me invested into the MCU. Because again, I wasn't a big comic reader as a kid. Here we have a very poorly timed commercial with Pete Davidson. Thank you, YouTube. But I was a big fan of the first Iron Man film. It really sucked me into the MCU. Obviously, that's a very pivotal film for all of us. So this figure almost sucked me in when it first went up for pre-order, but I'm like, you know what? It's just like I have so many Star Wars figures right now and I don't have the space for it. Things changed. I got a display set up in the basement and I'm like, it's time to get this Mark 1. But I was so upset that I missed out on that extra special edition exclusive accessory, which was literally just a raw metal version of the die-cast helmet that comes on them. But then the waitlist finally converted for me. Like 4 months later, I finally got a conversion. So I did get my Mark 1 exclusive special edition. So I'm really excited to have this on pre-order. So definitely really excited for that. Let's see. Austin says copping it. Yeah, dude. Like I said, I was really excited to get mine on pre-order for sure. I'm gonna address this question here, and then we're gonna move on to Ryan's thoughts on the Mark 1, because Ryan has an interesting little story about the Mark 1 as well.
I'm not sharing it.
He is going to share it. Carlito, do we know if the inner body of the new Mark 1 uses the same engineering as a standard die-cast Iron Man? That's a good question. I have not watched any reviews yet, so I'm not sure. But I will say we know that inner Iron Man, with the inner section of the Iron Man Mark 1 is kind of like that like felt material, because he has that like flame retardant suit underneath. So I would imagine it's probably a little bit different. It's probably not like full die cast like a normal Iron Man suit is, because obviously this is more like Obadiah said, a box of scraps. He built it from a box of scraps. So that's very much what this feels like. So I would imagine it's a bit different. But Ryan, it's time to tell us about your back and forth with the Iron Man Mark 1.
No, I pre-ordered it and I canceled it. So now I got to pre-order it again. It's pretty simple. I just, what the problem was? I got sucked into Star Wars, and I was looking at this is where people, when they talk about budgeting and your spreadsheets, and you hear it all the time, well, you got to stay on top of your stuff. Then I made a little bit of a small counting error, and I thought I had to trim the fat on some orders. I trimmed the fat and I canceled this one just because it's going to sit. I think it is going to sit because it came out a little while back, and it's a hefty price for people, but yeah, I made a mistake, so I'm pre-ordering it tomorrow. Got a $20 coupon, so not a total loss, but yeah, I'm gonna pre-order this, get this back tomorrow, and weasel it back into the pre-orders. But yeah, Iron Man's my favorite Marvel film of all time. It's the best. It really is. It's the best origin story. It's just casting. It's a home run of a movie, and it really perpetuated a whole series of just things that. And I don't think really any movies topped it, in my opinion, of course. And so this is the OG. You need it. It's the first USB powered one. So it's I'm really excited for this with all the die casts and everything. I just love what it comes with, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I'll have some further thoughts. I'll let the review kind of go on about the sculpt and stuff like that. But for me, I mean, the figure's a home run. The only reason, like I said, is just financially weaseling it into the budget, because I think I told you I think the first wave of Attack of the Clones. Oh, that's what it was. To be honest with you, before people start giving me crap about canceling, the Attack of the Clones, all my waitlist conversions hit. That's what it was. My R2 hit, my C3
it hit us hard, man.
All my waitlist conversions hit, and they're all due this month, and so was the Mark 1. And I'm like, between all of them, this is probably going to sit longer. So I opted to say, you know what, I'll grab this at a later time, and that's what I did. It's only because if the waitlist didn't convert, I would have kept this.
I hear you. Yeah, and it's funny because I told Ryan, I'm like, dude, out of all the figures you canceled, it's the Mark 1. Really, you really did that, Ryan. He's like, I know. But then it's like, that's what happens though, guys. It's like once you see these final product photos, it does things to you, right? Because Ryan really wanted this figure, but he had to make that sacrifice because, like he said, and all of us kind of felt that. If you're a Star Wars fan, we got hit hard, dude. And that was right before Christmas. It's like, damn, Sideshow, like relax. And I think that's why a lot of people were like, oh, it's going to come back on Monday. All these figures will be back on Monday. Because a lot of people didn't want to believe it, because it's like, damn, you're really going to do this to us before Christmas? Like, these figures are gone already. That's it. So I understand it, but it's like, you got to roll with the punches, man. We've said this many times. Things seem to be changing. And obviously we don't know what's going to happen once the stuff actually releases. We're going to find that out soon enough with that Clone Trooper, but it sucks, man. That was rough. That was a lot of NRDs we had to drop. I was right there with y'all. I had to pre-order basically all of those at the same time. So let's see what everybody's saying. Some guy says Mark 1, so tempted. I know, dude. Mark 1 for me is probably one of the better suits. Of course, Mark 7's my baby, but Mark 1's definitely top 3 for me. So yeah. Let's see. Loco Lou said, I'm gonna get it. Nice. Steve Showcase says Sideshow charged me today for my Mark 1. Hopefully that means I get it soon. Dude, congrats on that. Mine's not paid off yet because I was later in the pre-order phase. So I'm still paying mine off, but I'm very jealous of that. But that's okay. I got a lot of goodies coming this month, so I can't really complain. Carlito said he's getting it for sure. That's what I like to hear, dude. Let's go. Mark 1's awesome. Euler says, I need to make a list of all the blonde bearded DTOF collectors and class them like which version, the Hot Toys, So-So, Mars Toys, NECA, and so on. I think you might hurt some feelings with that one, dude. I don't, at least don't give my boy Chris NECA. Don't put him on the NECA tier. Please don't
Mars
do that.
Toys stepping their game
I don't
up,
have
though.
anything.
Hey, yeah. I'd take the Mars Toys tier, though. Mars Toys is hitting some home runs here. Big Dog Pound, what's up, dude? Of course, Big Dog Pound, all right, with the woo, dropping all the
Big
tabs.
Dog Pound in the house.
Good to see you, dude. Look at that. He
Big
got the
dog.
crew going. The Woo crew is here tonight. The Woo crew. I can't even say it. Big Dog Pound also asks, what type of case are you using? Are you using a cabinet to store your Hot Toys boxes? So behind me, and I'll pull my camera up real quick. I know you guys don't care about seeing my face, but I have my cabinets back here. You can see. So what these are shop shelves, which are converted into display cases. Shout out to my boy Chris because he helped me put them together and build them. They're literally just shop shelves. I put wood on the sides and on the back, and we painted it, screwed them in with a nut and bolt, and called it a day. And then, of course, I put the lighting in. There's lights on the sides here, and then lights are along the front, which you can't see. But that's all it is, guys. It's just a shop shelf, and it's definitely something. Even though a lot of us aren't very crafty, it's something that you could definitely build pretty easily. You just have to find the time to do so. And if you're not wanting to spend a lot of money, yeah, for sure. And if you're not wanting to spend a lot of money on module cases and/or wait the long wait time, I think it's a great alternative. It was rough to put them together, but it was worth it. Trust me, it was well worth it. Because I also have another one next to me. I have 3 in this room, and then I have a 4th one in the basement with my Marvel and non-Star Wars stuff. Ekwan says, if you want a Hall of Armor Mark 1 to 7, this is a good time to start while they reissue it. Very, very true. And that's what I was telling Ryan and Chris before the stream started. I'm like, dude, I got to get that Mark 5 now. I was thinking about just letting it go. And then now that I'm seeing the Mark 6 and I'm getting the Mark 1, I'm getting the Mark 6. I'm like, dude, I got to do it. I got to pull the trigger. Poor man's Fat Batman. How dare you? You owe me an additional discount next time you put up something I want for saying that. How dare you? I'm just joking. That's funny though, dude. A lot of people are really excited about that XE suit, and I'm glad that it came out good, because DC obviously doesn't get enough love. So it's good to see that the stuff that's been coming out recently, apart from that Batman Begins figure, I heard that one wasn't too hot from a few of my friends. But yeah, Trevor says, just got this in yesterday. Shout out to 16 Shooter, by the way. Check out Trevor if you haven't already. I always love popping in on his live streams. Trevor's a good dude, and he does some great content over there on his channel. So definitely check him out.
I just subbed to him the other day. I was just watching one of his streams.
Trevor is the man, guys. You got to check Trevor out. Trevor says, sorry, let me read the remainder of the comment. Nicely built, not much with it. And the whirring motor is a little annoying, but I like it. Now, Trevor, I am also to understand that you cannot turn the motor off while the USB power is active on the lights. Could you confirm that for us? I believe that is the case, which is a bit unfortunate, especially because on the DeLorean, we got multiple buttons on the DeLorean. Definitely a bit unfortunate there, but yeah.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. There's no on and off. It's just one for everything. It just stays on.
Yeah. And so I got this frozen on here. Sorry, I've been not paying attention to this. So I wanted to show you guys real quick. I think this is really clever too. This bottom display base, it separates. So me personally, I don't like how large the bottom display base is. It looks great, but I love the fact that I can separate the Stark Industries like a desert sand base. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the top part separately. Because obviously this is kind of like Justice League height, that lower base, those Justice League bases, about the same height from what I could tell. So I'm not going to use that part, but I will use that Stark Industries lower part because that's really cool. And obviously has a lot of bearing on what happens in the first Iron Man film, because Tony didn't realize until he saw it firsthand the destruction that the Stark Industries products were causing, right? So it's got a lot of weight to it, in my opinion. So I'm definitely going to be using that upper portion for sure. But Steve said he had to tap into his emergency figure fund. Hey, that's what it's for, though, right? That's what the emergency figure fund is for. You got to use it sometimes. So, but it's cool that you admit that, because that's the reality of collecting, guys. I mean, I don't always have, when I get hit, sometimes I'm like, damn, that hurts. I wasn't expecting to pay this amount of money at the end of the month, but it happens. But you have to be prepared for it as much as you can. So it's good that you have an emergency figure fund. Boba says he's going to pass on this one. It's a space issue. Love the Mark 1. I hear you, dude. I totally hear you. Doug Gambino, good to see you over here, by the way. I know you're over from the Geeking Out stream, and I always love reading your comments. So it's awesome to see you over here. Mark 7 is my favorite. I think we might be best friends now, Gambino, because Mark 7 is my favorite. I love the Mark 7. So great to hear that from another fellow collector. He says, I love Iron Man movies and figures, but I'm not sure about getting the Mark 1. I need to build my Star Wars and DC collection. And that's fair. You got to prioritize what you love the most, especially with how pricey these figures are getting. I definitely totally agree with that there. But let's move on to Chris's thoughts on the Mark 1. Chris, I know you're very selective with your Iron Man purchases because you're trying to save some space and you don't really need to go all in. As you're holding your wrestling belt, I just noticed.
I was going to say, were you Rod and Ric Flair over here?
Yeah, man, this is what champions wear, all right?
The big gold.
And when you're a champion, you collect Hot Toys, all right? You got a winning football team, okay?
He's
rubbing the big dog name over here, all right? We got Ric Flair. For Big Dog Pound 1, he's the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kissing, stealing, wheeling, and dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun. Woo!
I don't think you can get a better endorsement than that. There you go.
Let's go. I think this figure looks absolutely beautiful. It's massive. And I haven't really seen any unboxings on it, so this is kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about seeing it. Maybe it's just the lighting there about the head sculpt in there. And if I had it, I don't really like to use them anyway, so I'd probably have it just fully helmeted. But yeah, literally for any Iron Man collector, especially this being the Mark 1, like his first rendition and run through of it, and the film alone was great. Yeah. This is a must have if you're an Iron Man fan.
I agree. And yeah, there are some thoughts about the head sculpt. And also, guys, I wanted to update you. Trevor said it's all or nothing with the light. So that is definitely a ding, in my opinion. That's a little weird that they would, because it's like you have the LEDs on, but if you're close enough to your display, maybe you'll hear the fan spinning up. I don't know about that, but I'm not going to let it ruin the figure for me. It definitely is a detractor, though, in my opinion. That's a little weird decision for sure. Tremble Dust, what's up, my dude? He says Mark 1 is so coming home, waiting on Alter Ego to get him in stock. It's funny because Alter Ego is actually local to Chris and I. It's kind of in between the both of us, so it's funny to see all these people buying from Alter Ego online. It seems like they have quite the online presence. Smoke him if you got him says, does anyone just go outside and just get some real rocks for your displays and use natural elements? I've seen some people do that. If anyone's going to do something like that and pull it off, it's going to be Oilers. Though Oilers, he also does some really incredible like hand sculpted stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen his Smash display bases, but I wish I had one of those. Those are super cool, especially have detofs. They look really, really cool in detofs. They missed an opportunity to add magnets to this platform base if you don't want to use the crotch grabber stand. Yeah, that would have been cool for sure. Now, yeah, again, on this head sculpt, guys, I don't necessarily hate it. Is this the strongest Robert Downey Jr. likeness? Not really, but this is basically what we saw with the previous version, just with slightly updated paint apps. From what I could tell, this is very, very similar, almost identical, in fact. So I'm not disappointed because this is basically what we saw with the prototype. And I do think in his video, it looks much better than those prototype photos. But Ryan, what are your thoughts on the sculpt as you're looking at it here versus like the final release photos?
I personally don't like it really, per se. Like if I had to say, either or. I mean, the thing with it, I've seen, I was watching a few other streams where they did a comparison between this head sculpt and like think the previous Mark 1, and it looks almost identical, from even the figure. Like there doesn't seem to be that much of an improvement overall.
Yeah.
The thing is though, how many people are real? I mean, from time to time, but like that's how I think everyone would display it, with the helmet down. So it's really kind of like, I'm sure some people will have it with the helmet open for the head sculpt, but realistically, I'd have a display just like that with the helmet down. So it doesn't bother me as much. It's just that I don't see as drastic. I don't have a figure in hand, and I don't know how many people have the first one to this one to do a side-by-side comparison, except for on the computer screen looking at photos.
Yeah.
But I don't see a major, vast improvement in the figure. But like I said, the saving grace is I would display it with the helmet down, so it's not that much of a problem for me.
Agreed. I totally agree. You know what's funny too? I'm looking here. So this is the raw metal helmet that I had to have, and I'm looking at it next to this, and I'm like, dude, it makes absolutely no sense to put.
Oh, you were dying for this.
I was dying, and I still am happy, dude. It's die cast. It's cool. Come on now, it's die cast. I gotta have it. But it's funny looking at it next to the normal finish because it's very different, right? But especially if you have like a kind of like a Tony Stark workshop display, I think it would be really cool to throw in that because you can kind of have him like hammering away at the helmet because this is the raw metal version. Right. So if you have something like this that Ryan has in his hand here, let me bring him up real quick. If you have something like that, shout out to Bob Dylan, by the way.
Bob Dylan. I don't know if he's in the chat here or not.
It's
Yo,
such a
gave me
beautiful
this for
piece, too.
free.
Yeah, it was very kind of him. So yeah, shout out to Bob for that. Very
Lights up. I
generous.
don't have it plugged in yet, but out of nowhere, out of the kindness of his heart, I said, "How much you want for it?" He goes, "It's yours. Don't worry about it." And I was like, "Wow, that was."
I want it just to have it. That's
Yeah,
it.
so exactly.
No,
So we're all very jealous. Austin says, "I wish I had a collector that was next to me like Connor, Chris, or Ryan." Dude, I'm very grateful that I'm close enough to Chris where we can hang out occasionally, talk collecting. He can look at my collection. I got to get down to his house to look at his new setup in person because I haven't seen his new setup in person yet. And also, one of my best friends, who's about 10 minutes away, also collects Hot Toys. Maybe or maybe not because of me. Just saying. Just saying. I may have influenced him a little bit. Tremble said he wouldn't have the LEDs on the Mark 1 in display. It would make the other Iron Man phase display look dead. And I do agree with that. I've actually said that before about not that they would look dead, but I said it would look a little weird if you had like some of your Jedis with the normal lightsabers, the old style lightsabers versus these new USB powered lightsabers. That's why I'm like, damn, I might have to go through and get some CFLs for those older figures to kind of make them look all good together, which I probably will end up doing, honestly. Oilers, I am happy to plug you anytime, my friend. You do absolutely incredible work, and I've never owned anything from you, but I know from watching your videos, you put a lot of heart and soul into it, so I will always gladly send anybody your way.
You could tell, dude. Even looking at a thumbnail, his energy goes through everything.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oilers is the man, and he is way more crafty than I am, that's for sure. Don't you know we're streaming YouTube? Come on now. Gambino says, I really think Mark 1 will come down in price at Sideshow, but honestly, I have been listening to the collecting community, and Mark 1 is not getting the love the other Iron Man figures get. And yeah, for sure. Because obviously, especially like people who are newer to the MCU, they may not have as much sentimental attachment to the Mark 1, right? If you're just getting into Marvel, like think of it, like if you watch everything all the way through, the films that you're going to remember is going to be Infinity War and Endgame, right? Because those are the films that everything goes down, right? All of those films kind of come to a close in those two films. So it's like a lot of people probably gravitate more towards like the Mark 50 or the Mark 85 for that reason. But people who have been watching these films for a long time, like many of us have, we have an attachment to those original armors as well. So I could see why a lot of people wouldn't be a huge fan of this one over some of the newer like nanotech suits. But with that being said, I do think this is a really, really cool piece. I'm really excited for this
on his neck still.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it, man. You know, you got to avoid those stains somehow, right? I will say I do like that this is still like a nice cloth. They didn't use any crappy pleather materials or anything. This looks like the materials are going to stand the test of time, which is good to see because obviously you have some die cast pieces over it and you wouldn't want to see them cheap out on the undercloth suit. So that's really good to see. And it seems like the articulation on the neck is good as expected considering it's a split neck design from the head sculpt. I wish we could pop out the head. It's going to be weird to see his eyes in the Hall of Armor. It will be a little weird, but I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like it because, again, it kind of adds to that charm, right? He built this in a cave out of a box of scraps. So it kind of adds to that charm, right? I'm a big fan of it.
I'm sure somebody crazy enough will mod it.
Oh, for sure. There's going to be some mods to this for sure. King Black Bolt. Good to see you in here. I don't know if I've seen you before. If I have, sorry about that. But King Black Bolt says definitely copying the Mark 1, but not right now. That's where the MCU started. Yeah, and that's how it is for me, dude. Like I said earlier, for those who have caught it, I said Iron Man 1. That's my film, dude. And I agree with Ryan. I think that's probably my favorite MCU film. The favorite standalone for sure, but it's just such a pivotal film, you know, for me personally. It brought me into the MCU and it started my love for the MCU. So got to give it credit for that. Hot Toys has been quiet, but of course they're still just getting off of Chinese New Year. Obviously, we do have some new stuff shipping in the US, which we're going to talk about later. Don't worry. We're going to enjoy this silence. Trust me, because eventually we're not going to have any silence. So this is our time for them to be silent. We get to catch up on some in-stock stuff, catch up on some pre-orders because stuff is, again, starting to ship. So enjoy this silence while you have it. You know, obviously we love talking news every week, but enjoy the silence. Trust me, as someone who's gone through the silence a few times, trust me, it's a welcome silence, especially after that wave of Attack of the Clones. It hit us hard, man. And your boy, my Apo pre-order just converted, so I just had to drop that pre-order, and that one stung because obviously that's an expensive NRD. So 12-inch Moose Stream says, hello, community of collectors. Good to see a Moose Stream. Here's another different lighting on this head sculpt. And honestly, I have no issues with it. I think it looks as good as the original, just with better paint apps. And it's about what I expected. And Ryan, I agree. I probably won't ever have the front metal of the helmet open, but I do think it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Austin did some upgrades to his YouTube channel. He's got his profile picture and everything. I like it. I like it a lot. And then Austin Crafton is here. Austin's always commenting on the live streams and such and on my videos. I appreciate you, dude. Good to see you. Yeah, of course. Yes. And I agree. In my opinion, I think the first Iron Man is underrated because, dude, Jeff Bridges, I mean, that's enough presence alone in the film. And then you got Robert Downey Jr. and Jeff Bridges. Honestly, Obadiah Stane was one of my favorite villains in the MCU to date. I just think he did such a good job, and he didn't have any crazy powers or anything. If anything, he had a lust for power, right? He was jealous of Tony Stark. He was jealous that he was angry that Tony had a heart and didn't want to continue down the path that they were going with the company. So Sebastian says, can't wait to display this with the Mark 85 beside it. Tony snapping his fingers next to how it all started will give anyone goosebumps. Exactly, dude. And that's part of the reason why a lot of us collect Iron Man figures, right? And multiples of them, right? Is that kind of, and Iron Man is a unique character where you can really see the transition of the character through the suits, right? Because as time progresses, they get more advanced. They're slimmed down. There's new features added. Tony gets smarter as time goes on. He encounters certain problems that he fixes later, like Mark 1. Remember with the Mark 1, or excuse me, was that the Mark 3 where he had the icing problem? Was it the Mark 3?
Mark 2.
Mark 2, sorry. So with the Mark 2, he had the icing problem, and then he figured out the icing problem, and then Obadiah goes up in the Ironmonger with him, and he's like, oh, how'd you solve the icing problem? You know, that's Tony.
That's how he ended up having to paint the suit gold for a layer of protection,
Right.
and then he added
Yep,
some red
you're
in
right.
there because the gold was too ostentatious, as he would say.
Yep. But yeah, so it's very interesting to see the transition of the character through his suits. And I think that's why a lot of us gravitate towards collecting multiple suits because of that. Let's see. Insane one. He's got to get it in. He's got to get it now. He's clicked on the wrong comment. We'll get back to you. I'm insane. So are you. If you don't like and subscribe to Hot Toys Hotline in this killer panel, if you haven't already, my tapeworm thanks you all. So yes, guys, if you haven't already, drop a like on the stream. And if you're not subscribed, definitely consider doing so. We have that 1,000 goal, and I'm hoping to get there before the end of this year. So definitely help us out with that if you enjoy what we do here. But yeah, guys, I'm really excited for the Mark 1. He's showing off the articulation here, and it's honestly not too bad because of that inner cloth suit. But I think he looks great. It's, of course, not full die cast. There are some die cast components with some plastic mix in, but this is a beefy figure. Like it was compared earlier to the XE suit. This is a very beefy figure, so definitely understand why it's not completely die cast, but I think he looks absolutely fantastic. I love the weathering. I love the finish on the armor. I love everything about it, so I'm really excited to get this one in hand, and I'm really excited to hear some of my friends getting it and telling me their thoughts on it because they're obviously going to get it before me. And yes, as always, shout out to MRC Collection Ventures, my friend Reagan. He's always early with these reviews, and he's always doing his due diligence with every single one of them. He's a bit more lenient with the posing than I am. I go a little soft on some of my figures because I don't want to mess him up, but we always know that he's going to get right into it. So let's see. Gambino says, I wish they would re-release a Mark II 1/6 scale. I know they were releasing the quarter scale, but I will pass on that since I'm strictly 1/6 scale. Dude, you know that they're going to do it eventually. They've gone through all of these original suits pretty quickly in recent years. So I think we're going to see a Mark II for sure. I mean, we did get the Mark IV with Gantry, but unfortunately that was neon tech, not exactly the fashion that we were all expecting. But I do think they're going to go through all these suits eventually. And guys, we said it many times on here. We knew the Mark VI was coming, and we had faith in that Mark VI. And that's for good reason, right? Because they've been going through and reissuing all of these older suits just in grander fashion. I did not expect to get a USB-powered Gantry base, but I'm very happy to see that because I honestly thought we were just going to get a plain old base. Yes. Because reasons, Oilers. That's where we're going to leave it at, because reasons. And here's a link in the chat, by the way, for MRC. Definitely check him out. He needs no plug, but definitely check him out for sure. But guys, we're going to move on now from the Mark 1. This is a pretty long review. We are going to talk about something very special. Another Iron Man figure, one that I'm very excited about. And I know Ryan's already jumped on this one, which I probably will soon, honestly. Guys, as we said, we got our Mark 6 2.0. Not only just a Mark 6 2.0, but we got it with the Gantry. Now, again, I had a lot of faith in the Mark 6 2.0. I'll be honest with you. I did have a lot of faith in it. However, I didn't think it was going to be this grand, right? Now, there's been some debate about the head sculpt, and I kind of want to pull up photos. And maybe we should go to Facebook for this because, Sideshow isn't the best with zooming in. Like, look what it does when I try to zoom in. It goes backwards, guys.
All this time and you still haven't learned.
No, I don't think I ever will, Chris. You know what? We're going to do this. Let's do this. And then we'll pull up some photos afterwards. We're going to go. And now is this yep, this is the correct video. So MRC, once again, guys, I mean, I hate to keep plugging him, but he's just always coming in clutch. We do have a video here of the Mark 6 with Gantry at Secret Base. Let me make sure this is on the correct speed. Okay. So
they love it.
For sure. Yeah. So we saw it. So we saw the price, right? So $655. Now, if you think about it, the Neon Tech Mark IV with Gantry that just recently came out was $650, and that's what I was expecting for this when I said $650 because I was comparing it to that pricing. So I was only $5 off, and I think $650 is pretty fair for this, guys. You do get a head sculpt, you get these extra accessories that come with it. What are your guys' thoughts on the head sculpt? I personally think this is my favorite Tony Stark head sculpt to date. I got to be honest with you. I know people have mixed thoughts on this one, but obviously with a lot of things, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And for me, I think this head sculpt is my favorite Tony Stark head sculpt to date. Is it the best? That's kind of up to everyone's personal opinion. For me, I think it's my personal favorite, though. I love how it looks. Ryan, what are your thoughts on this figure, and what are your thoughts on the head sculpt, especially because there is a bit of a debate about the head sculpt specifically?
Well, I day one pre-ordered the figure, so that gives you my answer in terms of on the figure and Gantry. So, where to begin? There's so much to begin about it. Real quick, reason why I day one pre-ordered this, I know it's a lot of money. Typically, I don't go after big ticket. For me personally, a lot of people wait until they have a coupon, things like that. I pre-ordered this one because I needed the payment plan set up so I can drop it in my spreadsheet and kind of plan around it, because people hopefully don't want to forget when the payments start on this, we're going to have Return of the Jedi 40th coming out. So I need to kind of map out my game plan of all these expensive figures. The sculpt, I think it was expected, especially because they tapped War Machine Mark, the 2.0 War Machine reissue, whatever it was. They did a Whiplash. Technically, you got two Mark Vs. You got a Mark V suit up. I mean, I think on the other stream of the night, Denobi or somebody was saying that I think Iron Man 2 is like Howard Chan's favorite Marvel movie, or one of. It's up there, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So the 6 was evident. It was going to come. I didn't think it was going to come this fast, and B, I honestly didn't think about it with the Gantry, because it's not like when people think Avengers, they think Mark 7 as like the Avengers suit. And this is one of the only Iron Man suits that gets 2 appearances, Iron Man 2 and in Avengers, technically. And he used it for a very good portion of Avengers. So it definitely
for most of it, right? The Mark 7 came in at the end.
So I love the Gantry. I wanted the Mark 4 Gantry, but I'll take this. I love it. I love what they did with it, because I've seen other people that have the Mark 6 and they're going to keep it and buy the Gantry. So I like it because from a community standpoint, you could say, oh, it's another Iron Man, or you let all those feelings kind of subside. It's hard to hate on this by saying it's not good for the community, because you have people that have the original diecast, they can just get the Gantry, or people like myself that can get everything. So it's not wrong. Like, you really can't hate on it. When it comes to the sculpt, I love it. I think the sculpt, it could use work. I think he looks a tad older than Avengers 1 Tony. Maybe like Infinity War Tony, maybe, in terms of age-wise. He looks a little older, just a shade older than. And if you, I know we covered this before, but if you watch him coming down the gantry, they're capturing a very specific moment right when the suit comes off. He makes like a smirk, like when he's getting a call from Agent Coulson. He goes, "I'm actually out," and he makes like a kind of like a little smirk. I love how they decided to capture that. I love how they capture it versus just in a generic, facial expression. So it's definitely because of like what you said, my favorite sculpt for that reason. I love the purse system, so you have some flexibility in it. I think the sculpt could use work. If they delivered this as the final, I'd still take it and have no issues. But I do think it could use some work by maybe de-aging him. Maybe it's a nice way of saying it. Because to me, he just looks a little too old. A little too old. Like I don't see it. Like I don't know if it's the wrinkles in the forehead or whatever it is. He looks a little too old for me. But that's nitpicking. I love the expression though. It's so different than anything that we've seen.
Yeah, and Austin brought up a good point too, since you kind of brought up the expression. Austin says the sculpt itself is good, but the expression is what I think is the point of conversation. I don't mind either the sculpt or the expression. And I agree. Me personally, I love the expression because that's Tony Stark we want to see, right? That's that cockiness, that's that arrogance, but arrogance for good reason, right? He knows he's the best, right? So I personally love it. And I think this video, at least the angle doesn't even do it justice. When you see it head on, they nailed it. They absolutely nailed that like cocky Tony Stark smirk that he always has on his face. You can kind of see it here as he goes lower with the camera. I think it looks great. I do see what you're saying. It does look a bit old. And I do think it's also lighting plays a factor in that. This lighting's making him look real old.
It's very harsh. It's very harsh.
He looks real here, but that's obviously typical of secret base lighting. That's what they do.
But the photos from Sideshow, he looks good in certain photos. Like it's playing tricks, you know, but it's
for sure. Ekwan says this is the first Tony with the purrs. Is it? I did not know that. This is the very first. Hey, if they continue to give us purrs on everything, I'm happy with that. That almost makes me even more upset that Mace Windu didn't get the purrs, because now I'm over here making excuses for Mace Windu, and then everyone and their mother's getting the purrs system. So I'm like, maybe they should go back and give us that purrs system on Mace. That'd be cool. Eddie Rodriguez, what's up, my friend? Good evening to you as well. He said, I'd rather get this prototype face sculpt and not risk them fidgeting with it and messing it up. I agree. I definitely agree, because they do that sometimes, right? Sometimes they make it worse. And I definitely think I'm very happy with how it is. Like Ryan said, if they were to tweak it, make it a little bit younger, and I think it'd be spot on.
Well, another thing, Connor, real fast is, because it's a prototype, but often I know, I'm not rule of thumb, I don't want to say that, but I know people's consensus is when this moves into production,
it'll soften up.
The sculpt loses a few percentage points and ends up being,
which may help it. It may actually help it.
In this case, right? I think it would actually help the thing.
Yeah. It's interesting you bring that up, because that does happen, right? And the details soften up as they keep casting from the same mold. So I do think that may play in our favor on this one for sure. Tremble. I don't know if I know a lot of people didn't see this video, but because it didn't do too well. But if you haven't and you're interested in talking about the Ironmonger, Ryan and I did a 2.0 or Leave It Alone on the Ironmonger, and that is one that I am really, really hoping that we eventually get, especially with the Mark 1 and the possibility of a Mark 2. I think that would be a welcomed 2.0 for a lot of us for sure, especially because that original one has those cracking issues in that thigh area. I'd love to see another one for sure. But yeah, this set is absolutely incredible, guys. We got USB power in the base. We have an actually full-size gantry set now. Obviously, with the original one, we had that small kind of gantry base when he's coming back to the Stark Towers and the armor's being removed from him. It's kind of replicating that part, but obviously it's a bit underscaled. It's more so just like the effect of the display base. It's just supposed to represent that, kind of like how they put the Ironmonger on that one display base. It's a bit underscaled, but this is beautiful, guys. You even have the lighting here in between the cracks of the steps. They even got that down. I mean, in terms of a Mark 6, another version of a Mark 6, I don't think we could have asked for much more with this release. Not only that, what I love to see here, and this made me very happy, and once I say this, we'll move on to Chris. I'm very happy that Hot Toys was conscious enough to give those who have the original Mark 6 the option to purchase the gantry by itself, right? Because that makes me happy for those who purchased the original Mark 6 at maybe a pretty high price, considering he was selling for a lot. Maybe it makes you feel a little bit better about that purchase, because you're like, oh, I could just buy this display, this gantry display base and then I could make myself an Iron Man Mark 6 with Gantry. A lot of people aren't going to care about putting a head sculpt on this, so I think that's going to make a lot of collectors happy that have the original Mark 6 die cast. And I'm very happy to see that, because that's the type of stuff we want to see. Also, the cool thing you could see here in this photo, amazing detail, by the way, on these pieces. They did include some exclusive accessories if you get the Gantry and Mark 6 as a set, which is another thing that I personally love to see. I have some other sets that included exclusive accessories. Perfect example, the Han Solo and Chewie 2-pack. If you get them as a 2-pack, you actually get that heavy blaster with them. Or another example, like the BB-8 and the BB-9E droid set, you get that mouse droid with them. That's exclusive to that pack. So I love to see when they do stuff like that, because it's just a little bit extra for buying the 2-pack, right? And Chris and I have talked about this a lot, especially like we love the unboxing experience of a 2-pack. Absolutely love unboxing 2-pack. Yeah, and that's another one. Yeah, Leia and Wicket. He comes with the 2 Imperial helmets that he plays as drums, right? And that's just such an amazing little thought for an accessory. And he's got the drumsticks and everything. It's just so cool. And I love to see them including a bit extra stuff, because you're spending that higher price tag to get the 2-pack. But Chris, what are your thoughts on this Mark 6 and the Gantry set?
I literally think it's stunning, but you know, I have my one Iron Man, so I can't void out, and they just keep getting like bigger and more vibrant and more expensive. I definitely don't mind the sculpt. I think it looks like him, but we have seen in the past, and like even now, it seems like they struggle with trying to do expressions for some reason, and they keep attempting, which is what we sometimes ask for. So it's not a bad thing, but a lot of the times it seems like they just don't hit it properly for certain faces, and maybe it's for certain people, their likeness is maybe harder to capture. But yeah, I think like you guys said, I agree. If it got a little bit softer, it would do him. He does look a bit older from, you know, the later films, but it's not bad. I can still see Robert Downey Jr. in there completely. So it's nothing I'm too mad about. Or if I was picking him up and I received him, I wouldn't be mad about it. So, but that display base in general is literally the main attraction point. Like that would be the only reason if I were to pick it up, I would get that. And did you say it was sold separately, or the other one was separate?
So it is. So we have 3 SKUs for this one. We have the Iron Man Mark 6 by himself with a different display base. You can get the Gantry by itself, and then you can get the Gantry and Iron Man Mark 6 as a set. So 3 SKUs for this one.
That's very tempting, and that's very smart on Hot Toys' part.
I agree. And I'm very also happy to see some of my friends here in the chat saying that they're happy that they were able to get that. So now that they could put that Gantry with their original Mark 6. And I would like to think that was Hot Toys' intention. Whether it was or not, it's definitely a plus for us collectors, because again, it gives you options and you don't feel left out or feel like you have to spend money again for a figure that you already have a previous iteration of, you know? So that's definitely really cool that they did that, in my opinion.
I mean, it just totally upgrades, even if you have the other one. Like, just, I mean, look at what they did. Like him walking down, that's perfect. That's chef's kiss.
Oh yeah. It's great, dude. And I hope that he stands pretty good on those stairs. They got him standing in the photos.
Say, you don't see any mention of a crotch grabber or a flight stand. I didn't see.
And I think it's for them to preserve that realism. So I'm very curious.
I know. Are they expecting gravity to kind of fill the
probably?
void?
Now what would be cool is there's some sort of magnets there, but as of right now, there's no talk of any magnets.
I was going to say, because I see a lot of photos of it just walking down the steps. I'm like, so how are they holding it exactly?
Yeah, and so I also wanted to bring this up because we talked about the sculpt, and now shout out the gentleman's name that always does these. I don't know his name that posts these photos. Of course, this is JC Hong. He's the lead of kind of the sculpt and paint team for Hot Toys, right? And I think these photos really always really put the actual the likeness of the sculpt into perspective for me. When I see JC, I think he's smart. He knows what type of lighting makes the sculpt look the best. And for me, when he puts it in this type of lighting, I'm like, dude, that's a good sculpt. I really, really do like this sculpt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it really puts it in perspective. And again, like Ryan was saying, look at the lighting in that video that we just watched at Secret Base, and look at here. Doesn't look nearly as old, right? Those wrinkles aren't as prominent in that like yellowish
shadows
lighting.
And whatnot. Yeah.
Right. So, and that's another thing. And I like Ryan's point about the final product being a little bit softer. I think that will make this sculpt really, really good. I think that's what it needs. But again, we see it right here next to an image of Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. And I think the likeness and that little smirk, dude, it's fantastic. I really, really am a fan of this sculpt.
If they had the purrs going the other way with the eyes, it almost
right. It almost be uncanny, right?
Yeah.
Austin, I don't personally have the Hall of Armor. I don't have the space for that, but I'm very jealous of those that do. And I don't think anyone on the panel has any of the Hall of Armor pieces, right? No. I know Denobi does. If you want to check out the Hall of Armor,
I'd grab it if it was available. I'd 100% grab it.
Yeah, for sure. If I had the space for it, that'd be a no-brainer.
There is one more thing I wanted to, because I know it's a prototype, and looking at the gantry pieces that hold the armor to place on them, I would hope for anybody getting it that they it looked a little plasticky to me.
What did?
The like gantry arms or whatever that was.
They probably are a bit plasticky, I would imagine, just because like it's a big piece. They're going to try to limit the cost, but yeah.
Well, I would hope they just update that, is what I'm saying. At least add some.
Yeah, and maybe in the final product, the paint will be a little bit better as well. They could have possibly rushed it out for sure. Some guy says 800 subs is on the horizon. Let's go. Let's smash that like button and subscribe. Yes, guys, if you haven't already, please consider doing so. I know I sound like a broken record, but we're on a mission, guys. We are on a mission. We're on a mission for 1,000 subs. We want to do that giveaway for you guys. Of course, as Sean kind of teased you guys last stream, we will be giving away a Hot Toys Heavy Mandalorian. So it's on the horizon, guys. We're almost to 1,000. It's right around the corner. So I'm excited to do more giveaways on the channel for sure. And Matt says he agrees lighting and focal length make a huge difference. And they absolutely do. And to be fair, with this sculpt, I don't think people were being super negative. I really don't. And I think with this figure as a whole, most of the community is like, hell yeah, like this is what I'm talking about. And it's very good to see that, right? And we've been seeing that more lately. Hot Toys has been bringing their A game so far this year, guys. I mean, look at the fire that Bane set in the community. Everybody's excited about that Bane. You see very little negativity about that Bane, and we saw very little negativity about this, despite people being hit or miss on the head sculpt. Overall, a lot of people are like, yeah, that's a great set. Unstuck Time says, Unstuck in Time. I love that name, by the way. I hope that's a Back to the Future reference. That'd be really cool. He says sub +1. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you for sure.
Yeah, and shout out to Lane too, because I heard now that his power's out, he's saving on his electricity bill. So this year, you're getting the Hot Toys, the heavy Mando or whatever for the giveaway, but you're also getting double the swoop bikes.
That's true. God. Yeah, maybe Lane will do a swoop bike giveaway on the channel. I told Lane if he wants to use my swoop bike to get through the snowstorm, he can borrow it for now. I told him that's perfectly fine. I'd let him do that. Just keep it in good shape. I mean, it's a swoop bike, right? It's already beat up, so it won't matter if he uses it in the snowstorm, right? Commander, I totally agree. Commander Crook says the sculpt will end up looking better once releasing in hand, and I totally agree. I think we'll see. I think we'll see a fantastic sculpt at the end of the day. As long as they didn't go through and change anything, I think it'll look great. Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier. CSI. It's nice that they do exclusive accessories also for the box set, because I like to see that. Right, like I said, the Han and Chewie 2-pack, that droid pack that comes with the mouse strut. I think it's cool when they do stuff like that for sure. Oh, Austin. Yeah,
I'm a sucker for the deluxes.
When Sean, I am too. You know I am, dude. I got to get the deluxe every time. That's just me. But when Sean comes on later, we're gonna have Sean share his thoughts on the Mark V racing suit. Sean got a couple of them, and he had some. I don't want to take his thunder, so I'll let him talk about it. But he had some interesting thoughts to share about that Mark V racing suit that kind of swayed me into not getting the whole set. I may try to get
the same thing he has too.
I agree. I'm saying the same thing too.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like, I just kind of want the Tony by itself. Maybe I'll find somebody selling it by itself. But yeah, Sean definitely had some very fair thoughts to say about it, and he has two in hand, right? So who more qualified than somebody has two of them in hand? He can kind of compare maybe some different QC issues between the two or what have you. So definitely really interesting. Really interested to hear your guys' thoughts on what Sean has to say. Philip the Fool. What's up, Philip? Good to see you as always. Philip always reminded me that I don't have that Spidey in my collection. That's one that was like a sleeper grail. So it's always cool to see people have that in their collection. I don't know if any of my friends actually have that one, the Scarlet Spider. It's a really cool figure, man. But very jealous, Philip, that you have that one in your collection. That's definitely a grail for sure. But I think that's it for Tony. I think we're going to move on, guys. Let's see what we got here. What do we got next? Oh, real quick, guys, while we're on the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook group, I wanted to share something with you all before we move in. So guys, I got a coupon discount code for you. So I reached out to Kit from 16 Kit. He's been in business for a long time. By the way, guys, I don't make any money off of this. There was no discussion of me making any money whatsoever. So this is purely a discount for you all. I just wanted to let you know real quick, we do have a discount code. So if you buy anything through 16 Kit, you can use code Hotline and get $10 off your purchase of $100 or more. Again, I benefit zero whatsoever monetarily. I just wanted to get you guys a discount, especially for those that are not in the US. This is a great site to purchase from right now because Sideshow shipping, I've been told by my friends in the UK, especially, they're like, dude, they're killing me with shipping. And I'm happy to say that a few of my friends in the UK priced things out, and the Hot Toys, they said, end up being cheaper than Sideshow because the shipping is free worldwide through 16 Kit. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. So code Hotline, if you guys want to get a discount on 16 Kit, there you go. $10 off your purchase of $100 or more.
Congratulations, man.
Congrats to everybody here, right? Because I'm going to be using it too. I mean, I've honestly, the Hot Toys I'm priced out on through 16 Kit, they're definitely too expensive for me in the US. I can get them cheaper here, but there's a lot of third-party stuff that I want, and Kit carries all of the Mars Toys products, as well as the Limb Toys. I'm going to be getting my Limb Toys Red Dead Redemption figures through him soon. So I'm more so going to be buying for the third-party stuff from him.
That's what I was just going to say. Everything I've ever bought from him is third-party stuff.
Yeah.
Get those Mars Toys Jokers.
Yeah. Trimble, that's true. I mean, it's definitely very true. And also, guys, if you're in the US, check out all the different sites in the US, get your best price possible. Sideshow, of course, I purchase from a lot, but I also like save up my rewards and I kind of work my pricing that way. And I also have my 15% ID me discount. So I do get some decent discounts on stuff. So it makes sense for me, especially when stuff goes in stock. But yes, there are a lot of good options in the US for sure. We have links in the description for some great places to buy from. So definitely check that out. Yes, Peyton, InArt's Batman is back up. I think all 3 iterations are, I think there's 3, right? All 3 iterations, 4 iterations, all of them I saw recently Kit put back in stock. So definitely check that out. And yeah, everybody said Kit seems rad. Kit is great. Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about him. I had a couple brief conversations with him and he seems like a very nice guy. And obviously he's been in business for like 10 years, guys. So if you're in business that long, you know you're doing things right. But yeah, just wanted to share that with you all if you're trying to save some money, because everybody's trying to save money now. Definitely check that out if you want to save some money through 16 Kit. But guys, next, actually, let's go directly to Mars Toys. Guys, who is this Mars Toys, right? Mars Toys, out of all the companies right now, especially third party, I feel like they're listening to collectors the most, right? And I think Ryan would agree, right? Because I know Ryan is cheesing at Mars Toys almost every week because they're doing more and more stuff that Ryan wants. And they've got my attention, guys. So
I believe that's you right there in the comments. I tagged you.
Both.
Yeah.
There's our alerted conversation lives timestamped of.
So you could see Ryan was the first one to catch this. And Ryan sends me the surprise face. And of course, or I send Ryan the surprise face. And of course I say, damn, I need it. Because guys, if you aren't familiar, from Back to the Future 3, when they first decided to go back in time, Doc gets Marty an outfit and he puts it on. And of course, Marty uses the name Clint Eastwood, right? And this is that first Clint Eastwood look for Marty. He's got this goofy, it was from like this roadside goofy store on the side of the road. He got this goofy outfit. He also had like a bowler hat as well. Obviously, this is not a figure that he's showing, by the way, guys. This is just him showing the outfit itself, saying like Clint Eastwood ? And obviously all the Back to the Future fans knew exactly what he was talking about. They're jumping in the comments, really excited about it. But how cool is this, guys? This is one that and Ryan and I actually, I think, talked about this before. I was like, man, I wish Hot Toys did that first look for Back to the Future 3, but this is insanely cool. And it's really cool to see that third-party companies are willing to take a stab at Back to the Future, because we haven't seen a lot of third-party Back to the Future stuff, at least good stuff, right? And we've seen recently from Mars Toys that their head sculpts are pretty solid. I know they started in the game doing recasts of Hot Toys stuff, but they're starting to deviate from that and do their own original stuff from what I've seen. And this is awesome, dude. I'm really, really excited for this. Ryan, is this one that kind of caught you off guard? Is this something that you were hoping for, or is this like, oh, I could do without it?
Definitely a surprise. It's, he's diving into the vault and pulling out stuff, and I love how he's just like asking the community, like, what do you guys think? Like, it's gonna happen. I think every single figure that he's done this to, or Mars Toys, I mean, not him, they pretty much have, it's in the pipeline or it's going to be in production. And so I think this is just going to be an absolute stellar release. I have, like I said, their 89 Joker. And I'm so surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised with it. I love it. And you got to remember, this will probably be no more than $170.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hey, $10 off. Use your code if and when it, when it comes out. We're still a ways away from that, obviously, but this is awesome. I mean, Back to the Future 3 isn't my favorite of them. However, when I lump them in as a trilogy, it's grandfathered into gotta get it. I gotta get it. So I have got to get it. Hey, listen, and I'm pink and purple, my color, so I'm digging the pink. So I have no problem with that. So it'll all work out for me. And that head sculpt is just, they nail it. It's gonna be a home run.
It's gonna be good. And it's funny, Treble mentioned it. He says, respect to Mars, murdering the Batman nostalgia. Dude, they're murdering all nostalgia. Like, this company has my attention because they really are trying to hit all of these figures that they know other companies aren't making that people really want. And I do think if they really go into this Back to the Future line, they're going to sell. They're definitely going to sell.
They're very smart and kind of but I mean, you could see that they're kind of taking a page of like, what's Hot Toys doing? Oh, they're going to do Batman Forever. Well, let's drop the villains that they're not going to do. They're going to do Back to the Future, redo the DeLorean. They got they did the Western. Let's drop the other versions that they're not going to do, because they know Hot Toys is just going to drop a little bit. They're not going to go too deep into those IPs. They're going to give you a little bit and that's it. So they're so smart with filling, like, just like 89. They're covering all of 89 Batman. That's so awesome. Now they just got to do Batman
Jim
Returns.
Carrey, Riddler. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
dude?
they're filling those voids. Like, oh my god, that's so awesome.
Yeah, and it's like you could be anti third party, and I totally get it. And I understand why people are like, I want to purchase officially licensed stuff, but like, you can't, if you're a fan of Back to the Future, it's hard to ignore this. Right?
And if you're in the community long enough, you kind of know when you're not, I mean, you're not going to get, Hot Toys isn't going to make this.
No,
Hot Toys isn't making the Riddler. They're not making a Two-Face. So you got to kind of realize, and also, I don't know if anyone, you don't buy third party. These are like $160 figures. They're
right.
Not
and not only that's the other thing, right? And they price things accordingly. And then, like you said, if you save $10 on top of that, like it's hard to say no. If the quality is there, they're charging third party prices. They're not charging what a licensed company would charge. It's like, and not only that, their communication, you guys are going to see, we're going to talk about the communication, because Mars is in the chats all the time.
They listen to what people say. If people speak up enough and say, hey, you're missing this, you're missing that, he'll throw it in, or he or they throw it in, and they don't upcharge. It is what it is. They'll give you more stuff.
If you're in love with something in general, like, you're going to want to collect mostly every aspect of it and every scale. So, like, whether it's third part unlicensed or not, people are going to want to buy it just to have it represented in their collection.
Right.
100%.
Right. Yeah. And Oilers is mentioning here, and we did talk about this briefly on the last stream. He said, I heard rumors that they want to do a Willy Wonka. And guys, that's not just any Willy Wonka. That is the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka. And also, I was told that he also has plans to do an Oompa Loompa with it. Come on, guys. Come on.
Day one.
Right. If that's not listening to fans, I don't know what is. He said, when I heard that, I instantly started heavy breathing, thinking about making a Willy Wonka factory.
Dude, put me on that list right now.
Yeah. Oilers, if you can make something like that and I could put it on like a floating shelf in my basement, I'm gonna be reaching out to you, dude. That's we got to have Augustus Gloop though stuck into the pipeline. That's what we got to have.
Yeah.
CMB made it. What's up, dude?
Yeah, the Chocolate River.
Yeah.
Going on?
You just made it. We're talking about the Mars Toys Back to the Future stuff.
Perfect.
You just made it. So yeah, what we were kind of talking about, and we can kind of start with you since I got you talking. We're just kind of talking about, like, Mars Toys seems to like really be listening to fans. Like, they're doing a lot of stuff, especially with like Batman and things like that. Willy Wonka. We talked about the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka. They're doing a lot of stuff that us as fans of all these different franchises would love to see, but know that a lot of big companies aren't going to ever touch. So what are your thoughts on the possibilities of them going like really deep into the Back to the Future line and stuff that we haven't seen before from Hot Toys?
I'm digging it, man. This is actually the Marty figure I was hoping was gonna get released by Hot Toys was this outfit.
Yeah.
Because I always thought that this outfit was funny when he shows up because this was his idea of what Cowboys wore. And then when he shows up, they're all making fun of him.
Right. Yeah. And the bowler hat and everything, dude. It's just such a funny look. It's such a classic look. It's hilarious, man.
Yeah, Mars
I'm
Toys is
digging
my
it.
favorite.
I'm hoping that Mars Toys is listening and they're gonna give us Mad Dog Tannen or any other Biff. I'll take any Biff.
So don't you worry, Cigars, because we're gonna pull up this comment here. Now that you brought it up, let's pull up this comment here. Where are we at? Let's see. Sorry guys, I'm having to scroll through. Let me see if you guys see it before me, let me know.
Right there. No, Mars Toys. Yeah, right there.
What's up, Big Dog Pound 1 and Payton 23? My chat's not working right now.
There's a comment that's like more in depth.
Oh, then they just.
So, what's up, everybody in the chats? My chat's not working, so I can't type anything.
There's so many comments, dude. Watch it be at the very bottom. Let me see.
And also another thing, like I know they rename these third-party figures, but you can also always go get custom plaques, custom bases, and then even so, if you just look at the figure in general, 9 times out of 10 people already know who it is anyway.
Yeah, I agree. For some reason, I can't find. So there was a comment. So this guy says, "How about Biff?" Right? There's another comment, and maybe it's just not showing up for some reason. You know how Facebook comments are. But trust me when I say there was a comment, and it's probably still here. I just can't see it. Someone had said something about wanting Biff, right? And then Mars commented and said, "Which one? 1, 2, 3, all question mark." And then all of us started commenting. Of course, I said, I think my list, I was like, I want at least 1955 Biff. I want Griff. I want Mad Dog Tannen. Those are my 3. I'm like, I want at least these 3.
I need my Biff in the Adidas green tracksuit.
Oh, dude, that would be great.
I need Casino Biff and just the robe. And
the robe, dude.
Just
the robe
come with
the silk robe and the banana hammock.
Yes, look, there he is right there, dude. That's what we need. But yeah, dude, like Mars Toys is definitely listening. Again, I wish I could find the comment, but I promise you, trust me when I say there is a comment, and it's for some reason it's not showing up on here, but a bunch of people were commenting on it saying like, oh, I want this Biff. I want all of them. I want particularly these. And Mars just kept liking all the comments. Mars was saying like, oh, do you want all of them? Do you want this one? You want that one? So it seems like they're going to go into this Back to the Future line pretty heavily, guys. And to finally get some Biff figures, Mad Dog, Griff, like to finally get these figures, it's really exciting to me because it's surprising that Hot Toys hasn't done it. Obviously, it's probably something to do with licensing. There's no way they just completely ignored Biff as a whole and just didn't have any interest in doing it. But with that being said, it's really, really exciting to see that they're going into this line. And right now is a better time than ever. And he probably realizes that because Hot Toys has their figures coming out soon. We just got the part 1 figures. The DeLorean's about to release in the US and has released overseas. So I think he knows he's going to strike while the iron's hot because these are companion pieces to our Hot Toys Back to the Future figures, right? So I think this is really, really cool, dude. I'm really excited. Moose Dream says he got his 66 Jokers from Kit and the Saturn Toys 66 for B&R. Really cool, dude.
Some guy, what's up? Some guy
is the man. Blurred Dad Life says I really need to get my hands on the first Mars Joker. Is that one sold out, guys? I'm not particularly. It is sold out. Okay, I know we have that.
You can
new
find
one
it on eBay
last week.
You can find it on eBay still
for like around retail.
A little bit higher, but I mean, you know, you're gonna have to pay because it's pretty much sold out. I got the Mars Toys 66 Joker for my kid, so it could be a companion piece to his Hot Toys Batman and Robin 66. So, this would be my first Mars Toys. This Marty right here, or any other Back to the Future figures they want to include.
Yeah, dude. This is one that really caught me off guard. This is a look I thought we would never get, but I really wanted. So this is going to be a really cool piece for our collection for sure. And he said a Willy Wonka diorama would be insane. There you go, Oilers. Start getting your Hot Toys hotline waiting list ready for that Willy Wonka diorama if that figure ever happens. We're all in. Blurred says, where's a 6-scale Biff Tannen? So right now it's in talks on the Mars Toys page, but trust me, Mars Toys works fast. So I'm sure we'll see something about it within the next couple months. But right now he's just kind of talking with everybody, gauging what people want. But yeah. Alex, what's up, Alex? I hope you're doing well. He says now they got to come up with some kind of kit to make the DeLorean look like Back to the Future 3. As of right now, there are options. I know there's some 3D printed options that you can get. I don't know if they're on Etsy. I know Ryan would know more than I where to get that type of stuff, but I know there's been some 3D printed options, and also someone made like railroad tracks and such. So I know there are some places that carry that, or anyone that 3D prints. Really, if you can find somebody that 3D prints that can do it in the correct scale, probably require some painting. Because I know there's a version A and a version B from Back to the Future 3, so you would have to get the specific part that you want if you want the railroad track version.
White wall tires, and then the railroad track tires.
Right.
And then you got to get that electrical box that Doc put together on the
Coca-Cola
hood,
box on the front.
Right.
with like the vacuum tubes and all that.
Yeah. Yep. Ty says I love that too, dude. That's the type of stuff I do. So when I see stuff like that, I think it's funny. Yeah, gotta have. I think 55 and Mad Dog gotta have at least those two. Like if I'm gonna cut down my list by one, I would probably break it down to those two because I don't currently have the part 2 figures. So like Griff would be kind of by himself. Now that being said, if they do a Griff, I'm gonna be getting them because eventually I'm gonna hunt down those part 2 figures. But I would definitely be grabbing.
And 55 Biff have to come with manure.
Right. That'd be amazing. Or like swap out clothes and a head sculpt with manure on.
Oh,
That'd be amazing.
Manure.
I hate manure. Unstuck in Time says our Mars Toys qualities, our Mars Toys figs usually good quality. And I'll allow Orion to answer this one because he does have the Joker in hand.
I would say overall for the price value, they are good. I would say the body, there could be elements on the body that are hit or miss, but that's how it is with third party. Like for example, my Joker has extremely loose ankles. So my 89 Joker really can't stand up on its own and needs like at least a generic stand to hold him up. But to be fair, I also have So-So Toys. Like I have So-So Toys, the Boss Man, the Kingpin. He's top heavy and he falls over. He needs a stand too. So, I mean, that's third party. I have a couple of third parties where they're hit or miss like that. So, yeah. But you have to understand, I mean, for me though, if it's a banger of a sculpt, all that tailoring, all that stuff, I can deal with. I don't like my figures on display stands. I like them freestanding. But trust me, if I got this and it had weak ankles, for example, I'm not going to have a problem with being honest. That's the least of my concerns.
Yeah, and I imagine I would imagine
they
would
body
probably
swap if you needed to.
True that too, and I imagine they would probably improve moving forward because that was what their first big release. Yep, and like CMB said, you could use like some sort of joist stiffener or something. Yeah, because I've used that stuff before. It works good for sure. Yep. Yeah. And they sell it on Amazon. It's like $10, or you can get like that acrylic finisher type stuff. I think works on that as well. Mars Toys is like a slightly upgraded Sideshow. It depends. Hey, Commander Crook, I'm gonna stop you. It depends, right? I'm a firm believer in their non-Star Wars stuff. I think it's fantastic. The Crow, that was one of my favorite figures from last year. One of my favorite purchases. It's a fantastic figure. The Sideshow Star Wars stuff, though, that's a different story. We have a lot of issues with the Sideshow Star Wars stuff. At least the newer stuff.
Me and you are the only two people with the Grievous that I think don't have an issue with Sideshow Grievous.
Yeah, like mine actually. Well, one of mine actually stands. He's above my head. You can see. I'll show you guys real quick to prove that he is the last man standing out of the Grievous crew. Mine's standing just fine. Now, will I repose him? No, I won't. He's gonna just drop to his knees. Tremble says, dumb question. Been semi-hunting for the original Ichigo. Probably useless effort, but it keeps him busy. Where'd you get yours? I was asking CSI, but if anyone else knows where to find him, definitely chime in. Yeah, I've heard the dude is great as well. I love the Crow. All of my Sideshow horror figures, are they perfect? No, but I think they're great. Actually, I did just get an email. My Sideshow Harry Callahan, Dirty Harry, is going to be shipping out on the 5th. So I'm really excited for that one. And I did also pre-order the Man with No Name. So once again, this Clint Eastwood figure is just making a lot more sense now, right? Because that was my plan originally. I was going to put the Clint Eastwood figures as like a little nod to the third film with my Back to the Future stuff. So now it's going to be even better having this first outfit for sure. Yeah, Commander, they ran the game for a while for the Star Wars stuff because they were releasing, and still some of that older Sideshow stuff, those are grails, like the Yoda hut, some of the original Aliens figures like Greedo and such, those bounty hunters, those are still decent figures, but it seems like the newer stuff isn't the same quality, you know? It's a bit unfortunate, but that's definitely how it seems to be going. Let's see, what do we got next here before we move on? Let's take a look here real quick, guys. I just wanted to bring this up. And the reason I want to bring this up is we were kind of talking about pricing, right? We were talking about the prices on these figures and how we thought Mars is being very fair with pricing. This is a figure, and I'll be honest with you guys, I still have to catch up on this show. So I have no skin in the game, but holy crap, this price, guys. Now, granted, this is officially licensed, but this is Star Race, guys. And we know Star Race does not do the best work. And they've shown that time and time again especially with their Harry Potter line. Their Harry Potter line is so disappointing, guys. I mean, the fact that they had the license for that long is definitely mind-blowing to me. But what are your guys' thoughts? $349 for this?
It's an absolute ripoff.
Like, and we talk about Hot Toys rooted hair being bad, right? And I think this is no exception. I think this is on the level of the Hot Toys rooted hair, if not worse, most likely worse because it is Star Race. But
I mean, $350 and then shipping. You're tapping at shipping and tax. You're tapping at $400 out the door.
Yeah, and like
that's like an Iron Man figure.
And it's like I would understand if you're pricing it to a level where you're like our quality meets that. But even when you look at these flame effects, these are Marvel Legends quality flame effects. Like I think we look at the Hot Toys sometimes their flame effects and such, and we take it for granted how good they really look because
I'm blown away by the flame effects.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. It's like I don't understand why, because and I almost feel like they're kind of pricing themselves out of the market, right? Because their figures aren't up to snuff with like even like 3-0. I think 3-0 has much better quality figures than Star Race, and it's like
the Iron Man Mark 6 by itself, just the figure is $365.
Right. So when you put it in that perspective, and also like another example I use is like the Kurt Cobain from Blitzway, $325 for that set. And you're paying $325 for that, but you're gonna pay $350 for this.
Wonder Woman 1984 is $255 or something like that. I know it's an older price, I get that, but never like. I love this show. Like Oilers say, I love this show.
This is a really good comment. Oilers says these are for people who love the show but don't collect 1/6 yet.
That's a good point.
Yeah. If you love this show and you're maybe new to the hobby and you just start Googling, you're like, oh, they made a Queen Maeve figure.
Oh yeah, that's a good
I'm going to get
Very
that. I'm going to hop on side. I'm going to hop wherever it has. I'm going to pick that up. Right. So yeah, if there obviously are uninformed collectors, obviously, despite all of the different, content creators on YouTube, there still are plenty of collectors that have never even touched YouTube in terms of 1/6 collecting. So a lot of people may fall victim to this. And it's like, guys, like $350 for this is unacceptable. This is not going to sell. It's not.
I almost threw up when I saw the flames.
It's bad. It really is. Like I said, I feel like I've been taking the Hot Toys flame effects for granted because when I see this, and I just recently got the Captain Marvel Deluxe from the first film, and I love those effects that come with that figure. They're beautiful. Yes. And then I look at this and I'm like, what are they thinking with this price, man? And it's like, not only that, guys, we know how these seamless bodies go, right? We know that they're not good. And Hot Toys is starting to improve. They're doing the silicone bodies. I can only imagine that this is probably on the same level as the old Hot Toys silicone body. So it's not going to stand the test of time if you leave it in a pose. And like Chris is giving us an example here. This is like, I guess it's from, this is probably from Mando, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like in person on camera, it's not shown, but like you get all the blue to like the translate, the temperature of a flame and like the translucent different orange and yellows. Like, yeah, I don't know what you just saw. It looks like this guy.
Dude, it blows my mind, man. When I saw the price for this, I couldn't believe it. And I was talking to Nate at the time, and Nate was like, dude, hold up. He's like, Queen Maeve is $350. I'm like, no way she's $350. And sure enough, and like we got some comments. Ekwan says, if you told me this is when Mattel Barbie, I would believe you. Yeah. It's obviously that's a bit of exaggeration, but it's not on the level of what we're normally expecting for a $350 figure. Like everybody talks about in art, their prices are high. Don't get me wrong, but at least for those prices, you're getting a quality product. Like this is. Like, what is this for $350, man? I don't want to look at it anymore. You know what I mean? It's
you don't mean to, yeah, nobody likes to trash anything or whatever, but like at some point there is a line, and
Right.
that's crossing.
It looks like
it big time.
$160 figure.
Right. This figure,
160 bucks.
honestly, if I had to cap the price 250 or less, that I'm capping it there
I'm
because
saying
it's just
170. Yeah.
right. And I'm only saying 250 because of the licensing
Yeah.
cost,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
I am
true,
factoring
true.
that in. This is officially licensed, but it's like I
Oof.
can't give this
Is
more
there-
than 250. I really can't. And I think 250 is even pushing it, but I understand with licensing costs and such. But
And then you go into what are the materials of the clothing, or outfit? Is the
exactly.
sculpted or not sculpted, the rooted hair punched or glued? I mean, what
It's definitely
what
glued.
makes
Yeah.
it so that price, like that premium
It's
price?
got to be a lot of its licensing.
Right, and it's a deluxe. It's they call it a deluxe, but there's no standard version. So that also threw me off when Nate and I were looking at it, like, oh, how much does a standard cost? We're like, there is no standard. It's just Queen Maeve Deluxe, and they're
A
just calling
sword
it
and some
deluxe.
flame effects.
Right, and it's like their paint apps aren't nearly as good as many other companies, especially for the metal pieces. I think it just looks cheap. I don't know, guys. I
The
mean,
skin tone on the face and the body looks different to me as well.
it does. I mean, and again, that's partially lighting, but also it kind of seems that way. But and guys, if you're considering this figure, I don't mean to crap on it, but if you are going to get this because it's maybe your
Put
only
some
option,
points or discount.
yeah, discount this one for sure. I mean, $350 for this is robbery, dude. Euler says, I've talked so many people in the Facebook groups for all of your channels and others that don't even know the Facebook group. They're in based off a YouTube channel. Like I've talked to dozens of those people. I appreciate that, Oilers, for sure. And yeah, it's our job as informed collectors to kind of keep it real with people when it comes to stuff like this. This is not cool, man. They're like, the pricing's wrong. They need to adjust this. I don't think they will. But this is not going to do well. And Star Ace did lose their Harry Potter license, guys. I don't know if you guys know that, but they lost that license. So they should have learned their lesson. But and it's very interesting to me too that they haven't really improved much over the years. It seems like the quality from what I've seen has about stayed the same. So it's very unfortunate. Again, if you're buying this, sorry to crap on it, and you guys know I try to be as optimistic as possible. But with this one, I saw it. I honestly got angry. I'm like, this is unacceptable for $350. And like Ryan said, you can get a Mark VI for this price. You can get a Kurt Cobain, like very nice overall product. We know Blitzway does good work for $325. So it's like, why would I pay $350?
She's mostly based off of a loosely based Wonder Woman style character.
Right. She even has the
And then
little
go buy
bullet blips on her chest, right?
So go save the money. Go buy the 1984 Wonder Woman. Just go buy it.
That'll be your
Otherwise-
stand-in for the character from the show. And I understand
Otherwise, like Euler said, it's for those people that love the show that don't collect 1/6. They're going to see this and say, "Oh, this is what I expect it to be," and they're going to pay the money. That's just what it is.
Yeah. And same one says, why does she have flowers popping out? Yeah, they're supposed to be replicating, and obviously, I think this is very obvious. This is like their Wonder Woman. She even has those little blips, like the Hot Toys figures come with that. It's magnetic and it clips onto her bracers when she's blocking them and stuff. So it's very funny to see that. Yeah, Matt, and like So is unofficial third party, and all of their products are on a much higher level than Star Ace, which that should tell you something. It's like, I'm surprised that So hasn't dipped into the official market yet. It's probably because they're making so much money they don't care. But maybe eventually they'll go legit because Matt, absolutely, you bet your sweet butt I am, dude. I'm really excited for that game. I'm really. I saw this hilarious meme earlier, a couple days ago, actually. I don't want to say earlier, but it was a video on YouTube. It was like someone talking crap to somebody. It was some clip from Harry Potter. I don't remember who it was, but it was like me playing Hogwarts Legacy when someone gets on my nerves, and he like talk crap to him. And he says, "Oh, Vada Kedavra," and he kills him. I'm like, dude, that's me. That's me all day. I thought that was hilarious. Yes, I agree though, Commander. I don't think I pulled up this comment yet. It is our job to inform the uninformed. I totally agree. $349. And I saw a comment earlier. Sorry, I lost it. Someone was saying something about the quality of 3.0. Remind me if you don't mind, whoever said that. But I agree. 3.0, they don't get the respect they deserve. Some of their stuff is not up to snuff. Like, I'll be honest with you. I told you guys before, the Stranger Things kids so far have been like, ugh. But overall, like, I've been pretty happy with my 3.0 purchases, and I think they price their stuff accordingly as well. Like Sandor Clegane, that new figure that just got put up for pre-order not long ago, $199. and he's a big guy. That's a big body, and I think he comes with a lot of stuff, and he looks pretty good. So
all the Game of Thrones is like 170, 180.
yeah,
I love
they're
my
pretty
Some were
stylish.
premium. I
199.
love my
They're like
premium Optimus and Bumblebee,
Yeah, dude, people
those.
very highly
I
Transformers.
still want those.
and I love my GI Joes from 3-0. I'm still just waiting on Cobra Commander. How you gonna make him and not drop Cobra Commander first?
I know. That's crazy. The fact they haven't done him yet is crazy. Guys, since
Back to the Commander.
right, you still got to get that helmet from Trick or Treat, dude. You got to pre-order that.
I still got it. It's actually in stock now. It's not even.
Oh,
on
is it?
pre-order. It's actually in
Damn.
stock.
There you go. Treble says 3-0 is dope. Transformers, their Chainsaw Man figs look decent. Yeah, I saw a lot of people talking about those Chainsaw Man figures. I am not up to date on Chainsaw Man whatsoever. I haven't watched it at all, but the likeness looks pretty good. So, guys,
I think. Sorry to cut you off.
No, go for it.
Trick or Treat Studios does better than what I just seen Star Ace do.
They no Trick or Treat Studios. My thing with Trick or Treat is they do fantastic sculpts. The owner of that company has a good track record of hiring good sculptors. It's just the bodies and stuff that suck. Like I have the Art the Clown bloody version, and the body is horrible. It's so bad. But I love the figure. I love the figure.
That's what worries me about Sam. Is the body gonna be trash?
Hey, bodies are easier to replace than sculpts.
That's true. That's true.
Tell that to the bodies under my house. Wait, what?
He's just kidding, guys. If the feds are
just
watching,
kidding.
he's just kidding. He's just kidding.
Bodies who won't let me
You just
sleep
hear
at
him
night.
bust his door down.
Oilers said my 3-0 Deluxe Bumblebee is one of my favorite action figures of all time. Dude, I've been tempted. I'm not like a massive Transformers fan. I did like the Michael Bay films. I know a lot of people have their things to say about them. I did like them personally because I have not much experience with Transformers, but I actually been tempted by some of the Michael Bay figures for sure. And I am excited to see the new film. It definitely interests me a lot. But yeah, guys, so
Bumblebee ones because it's closer to the Generation 1.
True
And
that.
those are my Transformers.
Yeah. Since people brought up So-So, I did want to bring up because we saw the preview last stream of the Geralt from So-So. We got to see the final product in all of its glory, and I hate to say it, guys, but I think they did a better job with the Cavill likeness than Hot Toys. I got to be honest with you, and obviously he does have some hair helping him out a little bit, but generally speaking, hey, I've got 2 Superman figures in my collection, so it hurts me to say. But the more I look at this, I'm like, dude, they nailed the Henry Cavill likeness. I think he looks awesome, dude. And this is the outfit that I particularly wanted. We saw that first third-party version, right? And that had the season 1 look that a lot of people were like, I'd rather have the later look. And I think this looks fantastic.
How dare you?
I know, dude. It's controversial.
That is blasphemy.
Everybody's got their
they've
got their black suit Superman.
40K figure.
I don't know why people hate on the Henry Cavill Superman stuff.
I don't hate on it. I don't
in there.
No, I don't hate it. I think it looks great. Don't get me wrong. I think the likeness is like 85% there, but this is like 90% there for me. I think it looks fantastic.
Dude, I don't know what people are looking at, to be honest, man.
He looks cross-eyed in some of the photos.
He does. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I love it. I have 2 of the figures. You know, I have the Justice League version. I have the black suit Justice League version as well. I don't know. Just this sculpt does it for me, dude. And of course, I gotta wait to see it in hand. This is third party, but So-So, they've been delivering good products from what I've heard. So I'm really excited to check it out, and especially because the show is moving on without our Geralt, and now we have Liam Hemsworth. Since Henry Cavill is no longer in the role, I want this even more. Not only that, it's cool that all of his weapons are die cast. That kind of excites me, and I do think the price is very fair. 1-6 Outfitters, I think this is the place where I'm gonna end up getting it. This seems like the best price, and I believe that he's available at quite a few other sites as well for varying prices. But I'm excited for this one, guys. I don't know about you guys in the chat, but this figure is cool, man. This is really cool. This is one of those third parties where I'm like, yeah, that's a must-have. I'll be grabbing this one very soon.
No, I can look at this. Who's the dude that plays in the Adam Sandler movies? It's always cross-eyed.
Oh my god, that's so Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi, yes.
Dude, that is.
That's what I see sometimes. No, it looks like him, but I'm going Hot Toys.
Oh, Crazy Eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, so all right. So let's take the eyes out of it. Let's say the eyes are a bit cross-eyed in some photos, but if you take that out, the overall likeness for me personally is a bit more there. That's just my personal opinion. But again, it's nothing against the Hot Toys ones.
Yeah,
I think
that was
great.
cheap.
I think they're great.
No,
And
I
it's like
still think
the
it looks
mouth
good. I'm
too.
just
The
messing
mouth
with
too
you.
is awesome. No, I know you are. I know you are. But yeah, dude, this is awesome. And I love that little like vial pouch of the different elixirs and stuff he drinks. I think that's really cool. I'm excited for this, man. And I still have to go through and play all of the Witcher games. My first experience with The Witcher, apart from watching playthroughs online, is seeing the show. So this is my Geralt, you know, this is the Geralt that I'm used to. So there's been some really nice third-party video game versions of Geralt, but this is the one I want. And this is really, really cool. I will be grabbing it. I'm not going to hold my breath because obviously Cavill's out of the role. So this may be the last like decent figure we get. And you can see these awesome die-cast swords and such here. I think they look fantastic. Even with like that little inscription going down the blade here and all that detail on the hilt. Like dude, they're killing it, man. And also we're going to get an alternate head sculpt right when he drinks that potion and he goes into that frenzy and he's got the black eyes and everything and the crazy look on his face. We're going to getting an alternate sculpt as well. So I think overall this is a solid package for the price. And obviously we talked about third-party pricing. I think like $220, considering it comes with 2 head sculpts, die-cast swords. I think that's fair. It's a bit high, but I still think it's fair. Yes, the Buzz Toys White Wolf. That's the other one. And that one's very interesting because you guys have been waiting forever. Those who have pre-ordered have been waiting forever for that one. Yes, dude, The Witcher. Dude, I'm excited for this one, P-Rock. I know you are too. I know you're a big Witcher fan. I hope you're picking this one up because this one's dope. See if I can catch on with some comments. CSI says 3-0 Jetfire Optimus, Soundwave, and Bumblebee Movie Optimus are in my collection. Fantastic detailed figures and heavy. And that's what I've heard. I've never seen them in person, but I heard they're pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, they're hefty. I got like I said, I just got premium Bumblebee and then premium Optimus, and they're hefty. They're hefty figures.
Yeah, 3-0 strength is robust. They do some good head sculpts too. And I will say in the Game of Thrones line, there has been some hit or miss stuff in terms of the likenesses and such. But overall, even if the likeness isn't 100% there, the outfit, the tailoring is always fantastic from my personal experience. I have 4 Game of Thrones figures down. They're all great. It just depends on how good the likeness is. So Alex actually has a question. He says, need advice. I have 2 orders that I can cancel and I should have enough to get the DeLorean. What do you guys think? Should I do it?
I said it depends on
what are you
what
canceling?
2 orders.
So what are those 2 orders? Number 1. And 2, I would reach out to Sideshow before you cancel that and say, hey, I'm looking at buying this $850 6-scale vehicle. Could you move those NRDs over to the DeLorean? That's what I would do.
Yeah. And don't do it through chat. Call them.
No, call them. Exactly. Give them a call. That's because you're on a more personal level, right? And if you're nice and kind over the phone, it goes a long way. Trust me. But yeah, tell us what figures you're considering canceling.
Or you keep the orders and you buy it all.
Yes, I mean, some of the people on the panel would probably do that, including myself. But
you sell your house instead.
Well, it depends.
Man, you got 2
when you say orders, are they paid off, or are you in the middle of payment plans? Like
that's another good question.
On the orders too. How invested are you already in on the orders?
Yeah, that's another good question because there's many ways that this can go, right? But guys, next
for making a decision,
they want to know what the alternate head sculpt might be on this figure. I'll put money on it. It's when he uses the magic and he gets like the black stuff around his eyes.
Yeah, it says blackening version, alternate head. That's probably what it is. That's what I was thinking too. I mean, if not, I'd be very thrown off.
I'm thinking that's what it is when he uses his magic and how his eyes go all dark.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to look really cool too. Can you build a home from shippers? I haven't tried, dude, but maybe. I mean, I've probably got enough in my attic to do so, but you never know.
I got enough to make a fort.
All right,
welcome
guys.
To Fort CNB. He-Man Woman Haters Club.
So CNB the other day messaged us in our Facebook group chat, and he said, hey guys, the Silent Hill iconic figures are waitlisted. And I'm like, what? I don't know if you guys can see this, but Iconics, they're moving on Sideshow, guys. You could see most of their figures now are waitlisted on Sideshow. There are some other websites that still have the Iconic stuff in stock. So do some searches on Google, and I promise you will find it. But this is crazy to see, and I've told you guys many times, this is a company that I personally, and I know CMB and everybody else on this panel are paying attention to because they're doing some really, really cool stuff. I do have the Muhammad Ali, this version here, the double pack on pre-order. I actually think I have like one payment left on it. I will be getting the Patrick Bateman because he's one of the last ones left standing on Sideshow that I still need. But yeah, guys, the Silent Hill, the Nurse and the Pyramid Head are both waitlisted now. It's crazy. These figures are moving so fast. And also, I know Chris had showed some interest in the Elvis figures. And Chris, I don't know if you end up pre-ordering these yet, or you're going to end up getting them elsewhere because they are waitlisted.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out. So, like I told you, I'm really stuck on the comeback special one.
Yeah.
So, and I know that one in the secondary market's a little high, but it'd be more worth it to me, or maybe somebody else does a different one eventually. But if not, then one of these I'll find eventually. I'm definitely gonna have them represented in the collection, and now that his daughter passed too, I definitely gotta now even more. I want that family in the collection.
Yeah. I think it's really cool, dude. Me personally, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't like the black and white on the Jailhouse Rock." I think that's so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. It's kind of like that silver screen look. And again, I mentioned before on a previous stream that Mondo did that with their Creature from the Black Lagoon. They did a silver screen variant. I just thought that was so cool. So for me, I thought that was very clever. I definitely did that. It's something different, Let's see. So Tremble was saying he just got his Ryu fire. I missed out on Ryu, so I'm gonna have to get him from another website. But trust me, I'm getting that Ryu. I've been debating it for a while, and I'm like, dude, they're doing Ken too, and they're probably gonna do a few more. I'm definitely really interested in grabbing that Ryu for sure. Unstuck in Time says, I'm curious about the iconic Patrick Bateman. We'll pull him up real quick. This is one that's highly anticipated for me. And Ryan was talking about this in the beginning of behind the scenes in the stream before we started, that like American Psycho is one of his favorite films. And I'm right there with you, dude. This is such an incredible, monumental film, in my opinion. And definitely one of my favorite Christian Bale performances. I would probably, and this might be sacrilege for some of you, but I would probably put it over Batman for me personally.
Oh, easily, 100%.
For me personally, I just think this is such an iconic role, such an iconic film, a film that leaves you like totally confused at the end, because
Best
a lot of us are like,
too.
Best soundtrack. Yeah, Huey Lewis in the News, baby.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Phil
now.
Collins. Oh,
Phil
everything.
Collins. Like, come on.
It's a great movie, man. It starts off with him killing Jared Leto. Who couldn't be happier?
Yeah, I mean, like, fast
got-
forward, look at the foreshadowing. Everybody's
you got Willem Dafoe in it. Like, come on, man.
I know. Like, it really is an all-star cast. And
Well,
like,
you got Batman, Joker, and Green Goblin all in one movie. Let's do it.
Right. And there's so many memorable scenes. The scene with the business cards at the table, the scene where he's in his house with the raincoat and he kills Jared Leto's character. Is that what do you have the newspaper? Is that do you have a chow? I love it, dude. It's so good.
Chasing the hookers.
Is that a raincoat?
Chainsaw.
Yes, it is.
Don't run.
Right. Yes, it
Don't
is.
run.
Hey,
Where are you
Paul.
going?
Right, dude. It's so good. And the fact they included this
watch it tonight
Madness
now.
head sculpt. I know I've rewatched it many times, but every time I look at this figure, I'm like, I gotta watch it again. Now, the funny thing about this figure, Moose Stream, you're right. So they actually put up in a very transparent post at that. And I have talked to one of the owners from Iconic, Andrew, before. We are going to have him on the show eventually. I did want to wait till I got one of their figures in hand before we had them on the show, so I can kind of talk about their figures more with a more accurate representation of my thoughts on their figures. So once I get Ryu or whatever comes first, which will probably be Ryu, we'll definitely have them on the show because I would love to talk shop with them about their process and everything. But yeah, they did put up a post on their actual Facebook page as well as the official website, and kind of shared their process throughout making the Patrick Bateman figure, the issues they were having with the head sculpt, the fact that it goes in different parts. But it's good when they share, when they're transparent and they share their process with us as collectors. And I'm glad that they delayed it to take care of that issue, right? Because I think as collectors, as long as the companies are keeping us up to date and being transparent, we don't mind delays, because at the end of the day, if you're going to get a better product, why would you be mad? You know what I mean? And to be fair, he hasn't been super delayed at this point, so I have no issue with it. But I did really, really like seeing that post from them, and we shared that on the stream when that first went down, and I think that was very smart of them to do. And they showed us a lot of behind the scenes photos of like the unpainted sculpts and everything that went into it. So I thought that was really cool.
I'd rather have them delay it and make sure it's right than to release garbage.
Exactly.
It was very impressive to see the behind the scenes photos, which I know a lot of, like, for some companies that's troublesome to share, because some people, like, if you saw the photos of that open mouth, really how many pieces it was to put that together, and how intricate. I mean, it looks intricate alone, but when you saw the behind the scenes, you're like, wow, that like to really like figure that out. It was quite impressive of how intricate that was, and it was nice to see them admitting that they were having issues with it, and that they're going to go back and they're going to fix it.
Exactly. Now we have a question in the chat. Tremble says, did they confirm they are collaborating with TB League for the body? For this one, I am not positive. I know they did for the Mike Tyson, and I know they did for the Ryu.
Yep.
I don't know if they confirmed that for this one, which would make sense because he does have either the raincoat on or the suit over the arm. So I would imagine probably not a TB League body, but don't quote me on that because I don't know, because I haven't seen any information about that. But it seems like they're more concerned about the TB League bodies when it comes to like a seamless look, like Muhammad Ali or Ryu or the Ken figure that they're looking into doing. So
Silent Hill figures are seamless.
Silent Hill figures as well. Like this one obviously just doesn't require that. Like we'll take a look. Like, dude, this is like, come on now. If you're a horror fan, dude, you're drooling over these figures. You have to be. And again, when I was having a conversation with Andrew, I was just kind of throwing all the horror stuff at him because I'm a big horror fan, and he was just like bouncing ideas off of me. And it seems like he's got a lot of cool stuff in the works. Of course, he wasn't telling me anything secret, like nothing that anyone else would know, but just some stuff that he's a fan of that I would love to see. It's cool, man. These figures are incredible, and I'm really excited to see them in hand because, I mean, how long have we wanted a good 6-scale pyramid head, dude? Like, how long has it been? They did that 6-scale little statue, but it's like, we want something that's posable, right? Especially with the pyramid head, because he does all these different crazy moves and stuff. Especially this right here, dude, of him dragging the nurse. Like, come on now. This is cool. Unstuck in Time said, I hadn't been following the process. Good to know. I love the head sculpt preview and the blood accessories. Yeah, and then another thing that Ryan and CMB and I talked about is the paint apps on the prototype photos don't look very good, I'll be honest with you, but all of the different projects that they've shown photos of afterwards, the paint apps look much improved. So I would imagine on the Patrick Bateman, the final product's going to be pretty stellar. I think they're probably going to improve quite a bit on those original prototype photos. Again, I'm personally going to drop my prototype soon because I would like to get it through Sideshow, and everything, like as you saw, is dropping like flies on their website. So
hey, got real fast, Connor. Alex Stark, actually, I think we missed his comment. He actually said that he says there's a comment that he put in a little bit further back. He says, I'm canceling Tumblr and Infinity Ultron.
I told him do it.
See,
I'd be okay. It's okay to cancel Tumblr, but not Infinity Ultron.
Unless he's got like a huge Batman shrine.
See, the thing about
my question is, I want to know how much money he's got invested in those two figures.
Because the Tumblr, that's a big NRD.
Yeah, you got to say that NRD. You can't get rid of that.
$55, $56.
Yeah, I was.
Is it $650? Is it $650 for a Tumblr?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
So
like
it's $65.
And then what's Ultron?
He's like 400 something.
All right, so you're talking like
it's like $100,
like
$100 an NRDs right there.
Yeah.
So Alex, here's my advice, and I think the panel would agree, and we mentioned it before. Reach out to Sideshow, give them a call, and say like, "Hey, I want to get this DeLorean instead. Could you possibly move this NRD?" And I think they would probably do it, considering you're buying a even more expensive product from them. I think they would probably do it. You just have to be, again, you have to be nice about it. You have to be cordial over the phone, and they're willing to work with you. So I would give them a call and see if they'll move it over. If you really are like, I don't really have as much love for these two pieces as I thought I did, move it to something that you love more, like the DeLorean. And hey, I think everybody on this panel would endorse that decision because we're all getting the DeLorean here. So
yes.
So yeah, and I'm actually going to be pre-ordering my DeLorean, I think, next week. I know I was supposed to be waiting, but Infinity Ultron was delayed, so I will get the. Okay, so then you really just have to call them about the other one. That's all you got to do. All you got to do is call them about the Tumblr, and I'm sure they'll work with you. Like I said, when you tell them that you're willing to buy something else, especially more expensive, considering the Tumblr is about $200 less, I think they'll work with you. I really do. Real quick, guys, we're going to take a look at the Last Chance page. Honestly, not much movement this week on the Last Chance page. Apart from these iconic figures, which went to waitlist, not much Hot Toy stuff has moved. This is what we got right now. Infinity War Star-Lord did come back once again, as he always does. He just keeps coming back through the Infinity War Star-Lord.
Gantry came back.
Yeah, so this quarter scale Mark IV with Gantry, it's going to sit for a little bit because it's expensive. I mean, this is $1,000 piece when you get it with the Gantry, and it's still not on almost gone status. So not surprised that this one is sitting on the Last Chance page. It's a lot of money. He says, decision made. Thank you, guys. Absolutely happy to help, dude. Always happy to help. Let's see. Is it recommended to jump on the DeLorean sooner than later? I would say the DeLorean's been up for pre-order for a while, so you probably won't have to rush on it right now. Honestly, I do see the DeLorean getting an in-stock phase. I know some others have given different opinions, and of course, judge it based on your best knowledge of what you heard from everybody. But me personally, I don't think it's going to sell out instantly once
I
it goes
don't
in
see a
stock.
lot of people grabbing
No,
that.
and there's going to be
Look
at how
cancellations.
any of those
The
big-
only thing I would say is, do you need it on payment plan? Because right now I don't know how many payments you can.
It's
get
on
that thing
3
on.
right now still.
Oh,
So
it
you're
is? It
right.
went
They
to
could
3?
limit it once it goes in stock. They
Well,
could
no, I
limit
thought
it
it was
to
on
2.
6. I thought it was from
No,
8 to
no,
6.
it's 3. Yeah, unfortunately, it's
Oh,
on
never
3.
mind.
But yeah, unstuck in time. I would make your decision that way. I do think it'll go in stock, but keep in mind, also some people are going to be canceling this once they get hit with that final payment. Some people may have just said, "Screw it," pre-ordered it for the 80 NRD and just left it. That's going to hurt when you got to pay that $800+ right then and there. So some people are going to cancel. So I think there'll be some opportunities for the next few months personally to get this. But again, make your decision what you've heard from multiple people. Kind of use your facts to your advantage. But yeah, I don't think this one's going to be a rush to get it right now type of thing. I just want it day one, or as close to day one as I can get it. I'm usually not like that with stuff. You guys know this. I mean, I have the Mark 1 on payment plan right now, but for the DeLorean, I've thought about it and I'm like, I'd rather spend a little bit extra money and get it now as opposed to waiting to get my 15% off. If that's even available, if they even allow it, that's a big if, because they may not allow it, because even figures like Hunter and such, you can't use your ID Me discount or the coupons on them. So, Tremble says, I'm still waiting for Bo-Katan to drop in price, but I actually could get her for 84 USD from Pop Culture using points and store credit. But Pop Culture, I've had some really good experiences with them lately. I had a bad experience for my first purchase, and I'm glad I gave them another chance because I've had some really good experiences. And look
Like
who
you
it
said,
is.
Not a priority, but $84, you're probably not going to get that from Sideshow. She's not going to drop to 84, so I'd jump on that if you wanted her. That's
true. We have Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare, in the house, everybody. Sean,
Hey,
we were just taking a
in
look at the
the
wait list
house?
real quick. We have kind of breezed through some stuff. We're about an hour 45 in, but we're just talking about the wait list. I don't know if you've been following the Iconic figures at all, anything from them, Sean, but a lot of that stuff went to wait list. There's actually only 2 figures left on Sideshow that haven't been waitlisted from Iconic yet. So the Muhammad Ali is waitlisted. Their Silent Hill figures, the Ryu from Street Fighter, is also waitlisted. So pretty crazy. I mean, we're kind of seeing everything we've been talking about the past few months kind of falling into place, not only with Hot Toys, but other companies, right? And I know, Sean, you follow this very closely.
Yeah, so I don't really collect the Silent Hill stuff, but I thought all that stuff was kind of just announced like a few months ago.
The Silent Hill it's been what, October, November?
Yeah, sold out. My fiance's brother wanted those. So
yeah, I think it was November or October that they announced it, because I remember on the website, Iconic's
so it hasn't
website,
been very long.
No, not at all. I mean, Muhammad Ali makes sense because the one that there's one version of Muhammad left, which is the standard, the collector's edition one. That one was limited to like a certain number. That's that one I ended up pre-ordering day one. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Those Silent Hill figures didn't last very long. Fad says, I'm glad I ordered the DeLorean with the 8X payment plan. It softened the blow. Dude, yeah, for sure. For sure. That 8 payment plan helps because I mean it's $800
I got screwed
some odd dollars. I waited too long, but lucky for me, I was saving up rewards points, so that also softens the blow. I'm getting half off of it. So the fact that I could say I paid $400 versus $800 makes me feel good about myself, because I can't always say that, you know what I mean? But sorry, go ahead, Sean. Sean, like kind of like share your thoughts with us. Especially another thing that we can kind of talk about now that we have Sean here is the situation the other day with the R2, right? CNB had shared with us like, oh crap, like why are these figures on the in-stock page? And we were all so confused, like why are these on the in-stock page? R2 and Book of Boba Fett, they all were showing up on the in-stock page, and they originally were showing sold out. KX Enforcer. What are your thoughts on that situation, Sean?
Well, either Sideshow got hacked or an employee made a mistake, but by the end of the day, they corrected it, and they got them back to the pre-order side.
Yeah.
But I thought, like, okay, if they're showing in stock, then they're either going to be announced tonight or something. was my first thought. And then it's like, nah, they probably got hacked. And then the other part was like, they're going to go back to pre-order.
Yeah,
they might have been hacked because Monday GameStop got hacked.
Oh, that's right, they did. I completely forgot about that.
And I only know that because I got an email at
Yep.
like 2:00 in the morning saying that my email had been changed successfully. And I was like, wait a minute, I didn't change shit. What the hell? And
Yeah.
somebody had locked me out of my account. So I called GameStop on Monday and I was like, what is going on? They go, oh, we're well aware of it. We had a cyber attack. Everybody, a bunch of people got hacked. And I was like, well, what about my bank account information? They said, no, they did it for the PowerPoints. And I was like, the power. Oh,
You're like,
man,
what
this
about
is
my
like in 20.
PowerPoints?
Well, this was like in 2014. They got hacked for the same thing, for PowerPoints. And I was like, well, what are you guys going to do to fix it? And they go, oh, well, everybody that was affected, we've already locked down the accounts. That's why you can't get into yours. It's not because of the hackers. They're like, the hackers probably did change your password, but we went ahead and found everybody who got hacked, so we locked down their accounts.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, whatever. So they said that they don't even know how long it's going to take for them to fix it.
Rest in peace, GameStop. On to their normal shenanigans. Matt said that he went from the Battinson DLX to the Battinson DLX and Bat Signal, cheaper than the $500 Jazz. Yeah, good choice, dude. That Bat Signal is sick. I'm really excited for that. The thing is, we have like some great options for the Pattinson Batman right now. Whether you go with In-Art or Hot Toys, I think you're going to be happy. So I'm really excited to get the Hot Toys one. That one, I think I have that one about half paid off now, if not a little bit more. So it's getting closer and closer. I'm really excited for that set. Guys, I wanted to take a quick look at the in-stock page, but before I do, I was just reminded I had something for Sean for when he arrived. We had a question. Well, not really a question, but I wanted him to share his experience. So, Sean, the other night when you got your Mark V suit up, I asked you what you thought of it. You thought, did it feel cheap? And I didn't want to mention it until you came on stream, so you can kind of share your thoughts. But kind of share your thoughts with us on those Mark V suit ups, because obviously there's been a lot of mixed opinions on those figures in the collecting community, and I was waiting for you to get them so I could hear your thoughts, because I knew you would be honest about it. Kind of share your experience that you had so far with those figures, because you got two, right?
Right. I got the standard and the deluxe version. The head sculpt is phenomenal. I mean, that's like one of the best Tony Stark head sculpts I've seen from Hot Toys. The material where the blue is at for the racing is actually really good material. The parts that I think are pleather, I'm not really certain because they feel weird. They don't feel like pleather. So I'm not sure what material they are.
Yeah.
So flexibility wise, I mean, it's like standard double joints. However, the suit up parts are cheap plastic. And when I was trying to put it together, I thought I was going to break it. It was really hard. The chest piece that comes on it'll keep falling off. So I've tried to push in and just like putting the leg pieces on. I'm pretty sure like when I put that on, I heard it scrape across and I've damaged the racing suit. Putting the parts on for the legs, because you have the upper thigh portion, you have the lower leg, and then you have the boot part. By the way, the boots look pretty good too.
Do they?
The boots, the boots slip in pretty easily to the plastic Mark V cover form, which is good. The lower leg portion comes on all right. The thighs is a little bit tougher, and that's where I'm pretty sure I scratched it. The back material has fallen off a couple times because you have a part where the upper back, and then you have the part that covers the spine coming down. It like comes down and then spreads out around the hip area. If that gets touched a little bit, it'll fall off.
I'm surprised they didn't do like
just
any
being left alone. Nobody touches it; it'll stay there. Yeah, they put like little holes there where you're supposed to push it in, but I don't think they made the poles or the little posts long enough to hold them in. But because of how close it is to the suit, I can see why they didn't do that.
Right.
But Hot Toys cut a lot of corners. Like visually, I'm happy.
Okay.
because
That's
it looks good. It doesn't look cheap, but I know
It just feels cheap.
Yeah, like I haven't done a video yet just because I've been busy with work.
Mhm.
But I went upstairs. I unboxed them upstairs. I didn't unbox them down here because I'm moving things around.
Right.
And I went upstairs, and the chest piece had already fallen off of the deluxe. So
It's
on
a
the
shame.
non-deluxe version, I have it where he's like his arms are up against the chest area like this.
Right. Like
And I know
iconic
that his fist, and his fist are holding that up. So that's not coming up. But
yeah.
yesterday I went up and down the stairs, and the chest piece that came off the deluxe version twice.
Oh yeah, I saw a couple people on Facebook get the same notification that their King Shark is getting ready to
Damn.
ship.
Well, it looks like I'll be ordering mine soon, hopefully. Nice. Thanks for
Is
letting
that
us know
from
that,
Sideshow?
Mushroom. I'm guessing so. Mushroom,
Yeah,
can you
from
confirm is that
Sideshow.
from
Yeah,
Sideshow?
it's,
Oh,
that's
you
what
saw
the
it? Okay.
people on Facebook were putting it from Sideshow. Getting
Nice.
the typical automated response from them arriving in warehouse, all that.
Yeah, I'm waiting for mine to go in stock
Damn.
before I grab them. Tremble said, I actually take that back. I was talking about pop culture. Pre-order from them in the States if you don't mind waiting. Their prices are great. Yeah, there's a lot of good prices on there for sure. And they do deals all the time, and you could stack rewards and stuff. So I've gotten some good deals on pop culture for sure. I think I got the Hot Toys Two-Face, the 2.0 on there for like $120 shipped. So I couldn't say no to that. I think that's a good way to put it, Luigi. This Iron Man sounds like trouble, but it looks great. And that's basically what I get from that too, from what Sean was saying. I'm going to be going with the die-cast version. I think I will try to get the Racing Suit Tony by himself, but I do appreciate Sean sharing that with us because I was very curious to hear more about this figure. It is a little disappointing to see that they cheaped out with how the armor attaches, but again, I think I'll probably just try to hunt him down with the racing suit, and then I'll get the die-cast version because I do prefer die-cast Iron Man. But Sean does also have the die-cast version, so it's really cool. He kind of has like a full suit-up sequence, being that he has 3 of them. So
I am going to try and use Gorilla Glue to try and hold it in place. I'm just concerned. So one of the plastic pieces I'm not using, I'm going to test on it first to see if the Gorilla Glue doesn't act correctly, has a reaction against the plastic. So I'm going to test that first before I do it.
Yeah, cool. You'll have to let us know once you do your testing how that works out.
So glad I'm not an Iron Man fan.
I know you're gonna keep saying that, dude, because they're just gonna keep releasing more and more Iron Man.
Yeah, and then luckily my kid he's very picky about the Iron Man.
Selective, yeah.
So I'm like, thank God he doesn't need every Iron Man.
True that. P-Rock says, damn, especially with that price tag. Dude, I know, man. It sucks, man. These figures are pricey, especially all these Iron Man figures. They're all pricey. So you would expect top quality, but like Sean said, they cut some corners with that one, unfortunately. But at least it looks good. Yeah.
It is.
You know what's really expensive?
Overpriced.
The Silver Centurion. That figure is very expensive.
I'm
excited to see it. It does have
USB,
USB, yes.
yeah.
I am excited to see how that turns out, though, but that's an expensive piece for sure. But yeah, guys, the reason I have this page pulled up is I wanted to show some of the stuff that's in stock this week. So I don't think Queel with the blurg is in stock yet, but the regular Queel single figure is. We did get shipping notifications. My Queel with blurg will be here on Monday. I'm probably not going to do a review on that one. I'm not sure yet, but most likely at the very least, I'll do a YouTube short. So if you guys like watching my short content, I'll put one up of it. So I'm really excited to see that one in person. Not excited to find room for it, but that one's in stock now. People did also get shipping notifications. I know I think Matt got his shipping notification for the XE suit Batman, which he's been waiting for forever. Tremble said figure of the year, Queel. Ooh, I'm excited to see it, dude. Are you saying that because you just love the figure and you're excited to get it, or do you actually have them in hand yet? I'm very curious because I don't have mine in hand yet, but I will get it on Monday, so I'm really excited for that.
He's saying that he has spoken. He's like, I have spoken.
Oh, there we go. XE suit Batman. Yeah, see, I figured. I think it was Matt that posted that. He said XE suit Batman, baby. I knew you were excited about that, dude. Also, what other shipping notifications did we get this week? XE suit Batman. Loki. Endgame Loki.
Spider-Man Integrated Suit Deluxe is in stock at Sideshow now too.
Oh, that's right. Spider-Man Integrated Suit Deluxe. Endgame Loki is shipping. I don't know if he's in stock yet. I don't think so.
Who else?
My Iron Man Mark 1 shipped.
Mando.
Oh, Iron Man Mark 1. We talked about him earlier. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah.
Mando Chrome Deluxe is in stock.
Mando Chrome
this
Deluxe.
week.
That's another one. Yes. So there's been a lot of movement on the in stock stuff.
That I think that's about all I saw for
I think so.
this week was Integrated Suit Deluxe, because I know Battle Damage Promo Spidey came in last week. So this week I think was Integrated Suit Deluxe, and I'm scrolling through, and yeah, Mando Chrome Deluxe. Those are the two that came in this week, and Quill.
Yeah, so no Quill on the blurred yet in terms of in stock, but we do have the regular one, which is cool. Treble said, I'm just talking ish, LOL, Quill, but I am so waiting for him from Comic Comp Staffs. Cool, dude. Yeah, I hope you get yours soon. I'm really excited to get mine. But guys, we're going to move on to our final topic. We're not going to get too in depth with it. I just want to touch on it briefly because it is a big topic, and I thank Cigars for recommending it, because it just completely went over my head because there's so much going on. But real quick, guys, if you haven't already, drop a like on the stream, and if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. And with that being said, we're going to move on to our final topic, guys. The big topic of discussion this week, and that is the re-universe of the DC, the reimagining of the DC universe. Goodbye, Snyderverse. Hello, new DCU. Obviously, those of us that are fans of the Snyderverse are a bit salty about how things are going, and we're a bit skeptical about how things are going to go moving forward. Let me see if I could zoom in a little bit more for you guys, because I realize this is a little small, but I don't want to cut off too much of the picture. Here, we'll do this. We'll zoom in a little bit more, and then we'll scroll. Oh, that's a little too much. That's like my grandmother when she's trying to read. Okay, right here. This is good. All right, so this is the DC universe moving forward, guys. This is the 10-year plan that James Gunn has been talking about, and I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing some stuff that I like, and I'm seeing some other stuff that I'm a little on the fence about. I'm like, I need to see more about it. You know what I mean?
Same here.
Yeah.
Not
Even the
impressed.
Lanterns, another Green Lantern movie.
So
Impressed with this lineup, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Swamp Thing, that excites me. I got to be honest with you about that.
That does excite me, because I always wanted a Swamp Thing figure.
Yeah, and that show was really good. That first show, the CGI was pretty I mean, obviously that show cost them so much they canceled it, but I'm really excited to see what happens with Swamp Thing. Out of this whole list, of course, up top, we're excited about Blue Beetle. Everybody's excited about Aquaman. Like, I'm cool with that. But that's kind of what's left over, right? That's stuff that we are already expecting.
Yeah.
But in terms of
the newer stuff is what we're talking about.
Yeah, the newer stuff is like what has me like, It's like, of course, Superman Legacy. It sounds cool, right? But then you think about it, you're like, what's Superman going to be? It's not Henry Cavill.
That's what I was just thinking.
Moose Stream says, is the Peacemaker show dead?
No.
Yeah, I just don't. I think this is just more so laying out the stuff that hasn't been announced previously for this 10-year plan. I think that's the main.
I think I saw him say that the Amanda Waller show is supposed to be like kind of like an in between Peacemaker.
Yeah, I think the Superman. I think the Superman and Waller are both cartoons.
No, Waller's a real show.
Oh, it is a real show.
Yeah,
Batman looks like a cartoon.
Actually, I'm looking forward to the Batman Brave and the Bold, because that follows him and Damian, when he finds out that Damian's his son and he was raised by the League of Shadows, and then he's got to train him to be the next Robin.
Yeah, and Lanterns, and Peyton says he's excited for I've heard that Lanterns is going to be kind of like True Detective. So I mean, it could go well. It just depends on the casting. A lot of this for me it's of course script dependent, but it's casting that scares me. I got to be honest with you.
Because right now I'm just not that interested.
The Elseworlds looks nice just because Joker and the Batman too.
Yeah, Creature Commandos could be a fun show, but I don't know.
The thing no, you go, Chris. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I'm at a point right now where it's like the DC universe kind of crying wolf too many times. It's like I'm just not hype about it.
No.
I mean, it's hard to, right? Because we just had all of our heroes and heroines stripped away from us right under our feet in the past couple of months. So it's like, and then Black Adam, man, we got so hyped at that end scene in Black Adam, and they're like, psych, see ya.
Just like, what were they thinking with Booster Gold? Nobody cares about Booster Gold. Even DC doesn't care about Booster Gold.
I think that's the thing is that with James Gunn, if you remember, he likes a lot of alien and non-commercial style stuff.
that doesn't get
Like
touched
Guardians
on.
of the Galaxy, to be honest with you, I didn't know anything about it until the movie came out. I didn't even know about it, nothing about it, and then the movie blew me away.
Yeah, he certainly
He-
commercialized them.
That's
he
you.
really
You should have read
likes-
the comics. That's not our fault.
Yeah.
Get out of
Hey,
here.
I never knew about it either. I'm the same as Ryan.
What I'm saying is,
Well,
I
you
never
get,
read
out,
about
you get out of here too.
all right, see you later.
He said, "How dare you, Booster
Okay,
Gold?
bye.
He is
Make
a
good
DC
choices.
Treasure,
Bye.
a DC treasure, Booster Gold." And also, yeah, 12-inch movie. How can they justify that this isn't the Snyderverse if they have Viola Davis in the Waller series? Yeah, how could they not?
I just
But,
think that DC
they
is such
don't-
a dumpster fire that at this point, I don't think anyone. You have to really impress with the first few to then get people back invested. I'm not
But
invested. In
let
DC.
me zoom in real close though. Let me zoom in real
Why is
close.
Joker twice and the Batman twice?
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
there's the Batman Part
The
2
second-
that
Oh,
comes
okay,
out
there's-
October
yeah.
2025.
Okay,
Oh, that's
okay,
right,
so
they already-
they're just showing the timelines. The first Joker that came
Yeah.
out, the first the
Right.
Batman, then we get the second the Joker, and then Batman,
Mhm.
the Batman Part 2. Okay, now I see. I couldn't see the bottom because that's why I was like, why they got two Jokers and two Batmans? It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Those
Well,
are
it's because
probably
you
the
were
only
too
ones
busy
I'm-
on that Guardians of the Galaxy thing. You didn't have time to look down.
Get out of here!
Those are probably the only two I'm excited
It's
about.
your Iron Man.
Alex, the hierarchy of power is about to change. You just remember that, pal. I feel bad for the
Said-
Rock.
DC is just such a dumpster fire. It's like-
Yeah, I mean,
It
so
is.
I think probably out of all this, apart from Swamp Thing, of course, the Joker film and the Batman are what excites us the most because that's still
Yep.
tied to the previous DC content. The Batman is probably my number one most hype next film for sure.
I just
by a
hope the
long
rumors
shot.
Yeah,
aren't
I wanna
true with
see
the
more
Joker Part
content.
2, with it supposedly being a musical.
It is.
I know.
100% gonna be.
It apparently is a musical, but it depends on how they do it, right? Because I've watched some musicals and I'm like, that's tolerable, and other ones I'm like,
Dude, I
don't
want to
like
see
this.
a Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix. I don't want to watch a Joker movie
Yeah.
that turns into a Lady Gaga music video. No,
Yeah,
I don't
it's-
need. I mean, she shouldn't even be Harley Quinn, anyways.
But part of me thinks that musical is more so confirmed because they cast Lady Gaga as Harley, right? 'Cause
It'd be
obviously-
cool if the musical was
More like Lady Garbage.
It'd be cool if the musical side of it was like psychotic, like it was in his head, versus it being like real, like that. I could see them doing something like that. That would make it kind of sense that he's like crazy, that he hears like some kind of musical thing in his head, and therefore there might be sequences that are like that, versus like just flat out like it's broke out into a musical. That'd be kind of
Yeah.
shocking to see.
See, I'd be cool with that. Like if it plays out in his head and you just
Like he
and
plays
it's
out in
kinda
his
like,
head and he hears it in his head, and
the
you're
old
watching
school
those
Disney cartoons.
sequences.
You know, like old Disney cartoons where you get the actual cartoon and then every now and then they break into song.
Yes,
I'd be okay with that. But if they make it like 100% a musical, like damn, The Sound of Music, I'm out. Nope, I'm done.
How about another joke, Murray? I tried to hit you. That is easily my favorite scene in the entire movie when he's on the talk show, and dude, it's just so crazy, man. It's so shocking. It was such a shocking scene.
It escalated quickly.
It did. Oh, that escalated quickly. Yeah.
It just stinks because like they make these, like DC has really good characters, they just have bad like stories for them at times. Like I'd love to see, I'm so upset we never got to see the Snyderverse version of the Joker pair up really with Ben Affleck.
Supposed
And-
to get part 2 and 3.
And then Joaquin Phoenix, I mean, I don't know if they were ever meant to be, but you'll probably never see him with Robert Pattinson's like Batman. You'll just never see them together. It just stinks because
No,
they're
because
very good
Robert Pattinson's Batman has a different Joker, right?
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but I'm just
it's
saying,
a
like, they're
different
just so
universe.
great. It's just so great characters that it's just.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his Joker looks kind of
He look. I don't
Because,
like
you
how
gotta,
he
You
looks.
gotta
but-
remember,
I don't like how he
Joaquin
looks at all.
Phoenix's Joker is basically a full-blown adult, and then Bruce Wayne is still a kid. So,
Mhm.
like, the
Yeah.
age gap is vast compared to what you've seen in comics and the other movies.
yeah.
Right. 8-Bit's not too excited for the musical. I have faith that if it is a musical, if anyone's going to do it right, it's the team working on that film. But it's like,
They hit a home run the first time. It's just it's so
Teen
hard to do it again.
Titans go.
yeah, who cares about Teen
Yeah,
Titans?
but
at
look,
this
they hit a
point?
home run without putting a musical into it. Man, I'm hoping
That's
this don't
true.
turn into a foul ball. I'm just saying.
I know. I mean, I have a lot of hope
DC
into
too,
it, but you
so,
never
I mean,
know. You never
You know what gave me a lot of hope that DC was going to come back really strong? The first 2 seasons of Arrow. Have you watched Arrow?
No,
Yeah, I
a lot of
watched
people
all
like
of it.
that.
The first 2 seasons of it made me feel like DC was going to come in strong, because then we got the whole Man of Steel.
Mhm.
Then we got Batman versus Superman, Suicide Squad. And then all of a sudden it's like, where are you guys going? Now you're going like this weird left direction.
Oh, it is CW,
And
so
It's like they got a
that
concussion
explains
and they're
it.
running the other way.
I thought they were going to hit a home run when they did Peacemaker and volley off of that, and then
Yeah, I mean, for me,
I
it's
wish
like
Sci-Fi would have kept Swamp Thing going.
I
That was
know,
one of my
dude.
favorite DC TV
It was
shows.
so good,
It was
dude.
nice and gory,
The
just like
CGI
Alan,
was great.
it was basically off of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. And I was like, hell yeah, let's get some more gore up action in here. And they're like, oh, it's canceled. We're gonna
Dude.
finish out the season for you guys, but it's canceled.
Right. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks so much for doing that to us.
Thanks for ruining my Swamp Thing. The horror TV. I mean, thanks a lot, guys.
I know.
Way to go. So hopefully the movie does justice. Hopefully it's it's very dark and gory and gritty.
I agree. And someone earlier said they were hoping it would be rated R. I'm right there
Yeah.
with them. I really hope so.
Make it a horror movie, a DC horror movie. Yeah,
It'd be
I'll
so
all for
good,
it.
dude. Mama Luigi, I like what he's saying here because I kind of felt the same way. He said the Batman director saying he wants to do a realistic take on Mr. Freeze has me interested. And then he says the blue logo is giving me hope. And I'm like, I kind of felt that way too. I'm like, there's got to be a reason they made that blue.
Well,
I mean,
Matt
it could
Reeves,
be.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, Matt Reeves said that he wanted to do 2 bad guys in part 2. He wants to do the introduction of Mr. Freeze and the introduction of the Court of Owls.
Which could be a really good
That'd be
dynamic.
awesome.
It would be a really good dynamic. And I mean, look how many different villains we had running in the first film, and it worked. Even like the Joker they showed at the very end, and I think it all worked very nicely together.
He's also not done. He just got called in.
Really?
He's reprising his role as Joker, so they got something else planned. He just got called in to redo the joke, to pick up the Joker mantle. So
that's dope. Where can I stream that Swamp Thing? I don't know, dude. I guess it's going to be HBO Max, where all this content will be at.
It should be like Sci-Fi on demand. Be able to watch it on Sci-Fi on demand because it was a Sci-Fi show.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was talking about the new Swamp Thing. I apologize. Sluggin says, "Hey, Hot Toys Hotline, do you think I can add my friend who's on the military on my Sideshow account to get the 50% off, or he has to make an account on Sideshow?" I mean,
I don't think you can add someone to your account.
I think what he's saying is, can he use his friend's verification on his account?
No, because when you sign
legally.
when you sign up for ID Me, you have to put in your information, and then they check to see if you actually served.
Yeah, it's like a whole legal process they have to go through, like with your social and your first and last name. So it's like, I don't think you'd be able to do that.
Fraud.
Right, but what you could do is say, hey, make an account on Sideshow. Maybe you could use it one day, but if you don't mind, buy the figures for me, and then I'll grab them from you, because there's nothing wrong with that. He's allowed to buy figures for you through his account.
Yeah,
and you just pay him.
Exactly. That's what I would do. Like if my close friends, they always ask me if they could use my discount. I'm like, I mean, if you want to buy a figure through me and you don't have any coupons left whenever that day happens, sure. Peyton says, based on the comic from the last year, Supergirl movie could be dark.
I don't know. I don't read Supergirl.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just not one of my characters that I follow.
The only
I wonder who the actress would be to play her.
That's the thing that's up in the air about all these, right? Is like who are they going to cast for these roles? I can't get too excited about like Superman and stuff.
I feel like they all need to be like no-namers, honestly.
Who came up with this poster too?
Sluggin. I think this was posted on James Gunn's Instagram. I think that's where I got this from. Someone had shared it
because even that looks a mess.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, DC.
It does. It does.
Microsoft. It was made in Microsoft Word.
For real.
Yeah.
It's like a kid slapping stickers.
Well, because you got the reset on the top.
The WB interns.
Yeah. WB interns learning PowerPoint day one.
Right.
Got it.
Today we're going to be learning about this.
Oh,
But I think
okay, so Ben Affleck's supposed to be in Aquaman 2, right? So is that the last time we're going to see him?
As of now, but they still say they want him to do something, but not as like Batman. They want him involved somehow.
Well, they
Like,
contracted him
behind
for
the
5
scenes,
years
I
as a
thought.
Behind the
director.
yeah.
He was contracted for 5 years as a director.
James Gunn wants Ben Affleck to be a director for DC, and that's what he's going to switch off and do.
Yeah.
So he could put himself in as Batman wherever he
want to do
and
it.
I know after Aquaman is over, Jason Momoa will be taking the role of Lobo. So I don't know who's going to become the new Aquaman, because Jason Momoa is now going to be Lobo in the James Gunn DC universe.
They might even do Aquaman after this. I mean, realistically, it might be done.
Or maybe they'll do like the classic Aquaman with the golden locks and the maybe they'll go that route.
And the more reserved personality, like from the comics.
I don't know, dude. I like Jason Momoa's Aquaman, to be honest with you.
I did too. I liked him.
That's
as
what
well.
I'm saying. Like DC had they actually had
good
really
talent,
good castings, really good people. Like the whole Justice League, I think everybody before Ezra Miller going crazy, like they actually were all really casted good. Like I had no complaints about anybody who was casted. Nobody.
I agree.
Yeah.
I was concerned at first until I saw Batman versus Superman, and I saw how good Ben Affleck was, because I was concerned with him. And I was just like, he amazed me on that. So did Pattinson.
We don't talk about that.
Actually, Jason Momoa kind of let it slip in an interview that he is Lobo. So he kind of confirmed it, because he pretty much said that James Gunn and him talked, and that he was taking on a role of a DC character that he's always wanted. And then he slipped up by giving details. He said, like, chains and cigar. Oh, there's only one character in DC that's got chains and a cigar.
And his body type is kind of perfect. And his hair, too. He's got the longer hair like Lobo.
His personality is more of Lobo than it was Aquaman.
Yeah.
Hey,
his nothing. Jason Momoa's most iconic role was that NFL commercial.
Oh, my gosh.
Sean.
Where he takes his hair off and all his muscles off.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's like super skinny guy.
And he has like no hair. He's bald and
yeah, Equan, that does happen a lot, right? When casting, I mean, we've said it before on the stream, like Robert Pattinson. Everybody was very skeptical about Robert Pattinson as Batman. Very, very skeptical. And obviously he proved a lot of people wrong. But yeah, that's going to happen again.
In the face.
Right. It's going to happen again, though, with these. We're going to be very skeptical. I mean, they're replacing our heroes, right? They're replacing Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Ben Affleck. It's going to be tough for us to accept,
Example, too, is Heath Ledger. When he was announced as Joker, everybody was pissed off. Like, what? The 10 things I hate about you, guy? The Knight's Tale dude is going to be the Joker? What were they thinking? And then he literally knocked it out of the park. Like,
I want to go on record. I loved 10 Things I Hate About You. I love that movie.
Aaliyah and I just watched that 2 days ago.
When they announced that Gary Oldman was going to be Commissioner Gordon, I was like, but he's always a bad guy.
Right.
Was he going to be like, are they going to have like the corrupt version of Commissioner Gordon or what?
Like, I was upset when they announced Ben Affleck as Batman, but then I paused and was like, you know what? After seeing Heath Ledger, I'm willing to give Ben Affleck a chance. And then when I saw Ben Affleck play Batman, I was like, good move, man. He nailed the Batman role.
That the boys figure, I'm gonna tell my kids that was Wonder Woman.
Please don't ruin their childhood. You're gonna say that
May is that's Wonder Woman, kids. Yeah, that's Wonder Woman. To the others.
But before we start to close out, I just want to kind of go down the list with everybody and kind of see what figures you guys would like to see. It for me personally, I can only go by the ones that I know I'm definitely going to be interested in, because of course there's a lot to be left here without seeing the castings and the plots and everything. But I would definitely like to see a Swamp Thing. I mean, they nailed the look in the previous show. I think he looked awesome, and I would love to see how he looks in this new iteration, this new film. So I'm definitely going to be interested in a Swamp Thing in some form or fashion. I've said this before. I don't know if I would end up picking a Aquaman from this next film, just because I really love the Justice League suit and I have that one. However, Black Manta is on the table. I would love to see a figure of him, and I think this is our final chance to get an official one. So if they do a good job on it, I would definitely be interested in picking it up. The Flash, obviously, if we could get that new Ezra outfit, despite how much of a jerk off that dude is, that new Flash outfit is incredible. The main suit is beautiful, in my opinion. And then if they want to give us a little bit of Keaton love there, I don't know how excited I am about a 4-seater Batmobile, but if we can get a figure from that, yeah, I'd be interested in taking a look at that. But I don't want to count the 4-seater Batmobile out yet. Just not something that I could picture right now in my head, you know.
You see that middle right there at the top where it says Universe Reset? Look, I bet you my theory was right. Remember I told you that Flash was going to be the Flashpoint Paradox from the comics, and it was going to reset to the new 52 style comics, and then they were going to incorporate that in the movies? That's what I've been saying since day one. Right there in the middle says Universe Reset. I'll put money on it. That's where all this new stuff's coming. They're going to base it off the new 52 stuff.
Yeah. That was a good call, dude. I mean, that's probably what's going to end up happening. Matt said we all knew that Jesse Eisenberg would be. Yeah, dude, that's one of the worst castings. Oh, he was so bad, dude. So bad.
I actually enjoyed
so many other like bald dudes that you could have used for Lex Luthor, and you pick him.
You liked him as Lex Luthor?
Kevin Spacey was pretty damn good.
I did. I liked the different approach to it.
I hated it. I thought he was
like, and
dude,
maybe that's
he was
just
too
because I'm a
wimpy.
fan of his acting now.
I know, I like him too. I just think he was too wimpy to be a Lex Luthor. He's just
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, but they ain't touching Kevin Spacey.
Nobody touching Kevin Spacey.
No, Kevin Spacey's too busy touching everybody else. They don't want to touch him. He's already touched them.
Trying to take him to court, you just mysteriously happen to pass away.
Yeah, I agree,
wanted
Tremble.
Shazam.
Yeah, Shazam would be a cool figure. I mean, I know we had some, Blue Beetle as well. I know we had some haters in the chat talking about The Rock as Black Adam. I loved The Rock as Black Adam. I'm probably gonna end up getting both figures of Black Adam from Hot Toys. Yeah, I'm probably gonna. I loved Black Adam. I
loved it too, but not enough to get both figures.
I loved it. Like I truly loved that.
I'm just getting
the gold one. That's it.
I'm probably gonna get both.
I'm getting the gold.
But that being said, it's like I wasn't very sold after the first Shazam film. So this next one really depends because I'm like, dude, he would look really good next to Black Adam. So it really depends on how this next film goes because I wasn't sold on the first one. As of right now, if they released a Shazam, I wouldn't buy it just based on the first film. Now, if the second one goes well, I may change my mind. But hey, at least there's one other fan of The Rock as Black Adam. Thank you.
I just said I like The Rock as Black Adam too. I just don't think he can act.
No, I'm just messing.
No, he's basically Dwayne Johnson. Like when
he's Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam.
Like when he said, "Tell them the man in black sent you." All I could hear in my head.
Oh, I loved that. Though.
Tell them the Rock sent you. That's all I heard.
Do
in
you
my head.
smell what the Rock is? Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. That when he actually finally got the line down at the end, I'm like, that's funny. But Ryan, what are your hopes and wants from this new lineup of films? Anything in particular?
Yeah, I mean, I get Shazam just because I like the new suit. I think the first one looked like a cosplayer in a muscle suit.
It was way too big.
It just was fake. Yeah, it was fake. And I remember the actor trying to go online and post pictures of his biceps to justify. I'm like, dude, you're wearing.
Like, dude, just stop. You're like,
yeah,
stop.
You're wearing a muscle suit. It's okay.
At least the new one, they actually toned.
He is wearing one in the second one probably, but it was just like it looked like a balloon. But no, if they do Shazam, especially that new suit looks really nice. I would pick it up. The movie could be a dumpster fire. I'll still get that figure to represent that character. Yeah. The Flash, I would probably get anything from that movie. I hope it doesn't turn into like a No Way Home where you have like a lot of characters. Like give me Flash, give me if they do a Ben Affleck Batman, Keaton Batman, I'm good with that.
Don't forget Reverse Flash.
Aquaman.
Oh yeah, Reverse Flash too. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. So that could be your last chance of getting a lot of characters. Aquaman, Jason Momoa is my boy, so I'll definitely get him. I'll definitely get an Aquaman from him. I think you'll see a different suit of his, but you'll probably get like one figure, and then like you said, you can get a Mantis from that. So I'll grab those too. When it comes to the other stuff, it's just hard. Like Swamp Thing. Yeah, I love Swamp Thing, and then like even the Batman, that's kind of grandfathered in where I get any Batman that's available. So I probably would get Batman, but there's just so much question mark. I just see question marks in the center of that. It's just, you don't know. And I'm one where I say this all the time. I can take away the figure from the movie. Like the movie could suck. like more Morbius. I'm still getting the figure.
Yeah.
I need more right now. This is just names on a piece of paper at this moment. I need
there's not
more.
much to go off of.
Yeah,
For sure, I agree.
I'm not going to be knocking down the door for that Amanda Waller figure. I'm not worried about that.
If we get more characters from Task Force X in the Waller thing, then I'd be really down to get some of the figures,
That'd be
depending
cool.
on which members of Task Force X that they bring in.
Yeah, that would be cool to see. CMB, you've kind of said most of yours. Are there any other ones that you would be interested in seeing? I know you said Blue Beetle as well.
Yeah, I'd be cool with Shazam, some figures from Flash. Aquaman, I wouldn't mind because I didn't get the other figure because everybody's gripes it can't be posed and all that. And we did see leaks of what his new suit's going to look like in part 2, and I hope we get a Black Manta.
Yeah, dude. Please.
Swamp Thing, obviously. My other one that I'm curious for is, like I said, Batman with the Brave and the Bold, because I wouldn't mind getting a Damian Robin figure.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. Oh, and also one that I didn't say, if we end up seeing Mr. Freeze,
Yeah, obviously that's a given because the Batman.
Do we have to even say it? Anything from the Batman, we'll take it.
And I'm hoping with the Batman with Court of Owls, I hope they bring in Talon, because if they bring in Talon and we get a Talon figure, game over, bro. Take my money.
I know, dude. I'm all in on that film for sure. I'm all in.
They could do their own series just based off of Talon alone.
I know they could. They definitely could. Because Talon's been around for a long time. They just unfreeze them whenever they need them.
Tremble said, "Army build Talons."
And then there's a whole bunch of other Talons as well.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. And finally, Sean, what figures would you like to see from this new DC universe?
I would like a Shazam, but if we don't get it, I'm not going to be really that heartbroken. But I would like one.
Yeah.
The Flash. Is it only Keaton Batman in the Flash? Has that been confirmed? Or is there
it's
another
supposed
Batman?
to be Ben Affleck's supposed to be in there too, because he's on the Bat Cycle, and the Bat Cycle that he's on, they took it from the White Knight comics.
Okay.
So it's like that really long Bat Cycle with the huge motor in the front.
All right. I remember seeing that. That's cool. Okay. So I'd get Batman from there. Aquaman. Yeah. Batman's supposed to be in that too.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Affleck is. So,
yep.
If they did an Aquaman, I really want a Black Manta, just like everybody else here. That would be awesome.
Yeah, and Hot Toys would kill it, dude. And USB powered to light up the eyes and everything. It would look so good.
Yeah, dude.
And
I think
his gun and everything, dude, it'd be cool.
It would. I think what we might see from Hot Toys is just they're going to be putting all this stuff in production, trying to do all the writing and everything. So we're not going to get a lot of these movies anytime soon in the next 2 years, outside of the top 4 listed.
Yeah.
So I think Hot Toys is going to keep the DC license, they're going to have to go backwards on some things. So maybe this time frame, the next 2 to 3 years, we might see stuff from the past that we haven't seen yet. Or maybe we'll get like a Penguin from the Batman or a Catwoman.
That'd be cool. Colin Farrell's
maybe we'll
man.
finally get a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman or a Batman Returns 2.0.
I think that's
Danny
coming.
DeVito Penguin.
Oh yes,
Arnold,
awesome,
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah,
right now it's like, all this stuff like the time waiting will be perfect for Hot Toys to get all this stuff.
Yeah,
find out when that's like an anniversary for a movie, like Batman Returns. Find the anniversary date and announce like 1 or 2 figures from that point.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to get, and Tremble said 89 bats, I'm calling it. We're definitely going to get that Batcave set from Hot Toys, and I think we're going to get another 89 Batmobile as well. I really do.
I'm putting money we're going to get a reissue of Joker, 89 Joker.
Yeah, I could see that happening as well. That's one of the earliest DX figures too, so it's like it's ripe and ready for another version, but yeah, great list, Sean. And I think there's definitely some stuff to be excited about. It's not all negative, but there's just a lot of uncertainty with the new DCU. And it's like, I don't want to get too excited yet because I want to hear what the casting and the scripts or everything are about. So
nobody said they wanted Teen Titans Go figures.
Yeah, I think we're all good. I know Chris was trying to hide his excitement for Teen Titans Go. He was kind of like looking off camera when we mentioned it, but
That's
only
the
be
only one you
excited-
have to care about on that list.
Deathstroke is in that. If they bring in Joe I forget how to say his last name, but the guy that played Deathstroke in the Snyderverse.
yeah, that would be
Yeah,
cool.
if he appears in that Teen Titans Go, then I definitely wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, because
figure.
they said for continuity purposes they wanted to use the same actors for both live action and voice acting for everything. So for the games, for the shows, for the live action stuff. So I think that's a cool idea.
Because I have
That would be
Arkham
really cool.
Deathstroke, but I want to see. I want movie or.
I'm gonna
TV
get that
Deathstroke.
third party Snyderverse one.
That one looks good. The Nightmare.
Yeah, the
Deathstroke.
Nightmare version. That one's dope. I'm really excited. We talked about that one on
hot.
stream. I'm excited.
Oh,
for
Sean
that one.
dipped. I think he hit the back button.
Yeah, we'll see him as we're closing out. But guys, that's going to wrap up the stream. On your way out, if you haven't already, drop a like on the stream and subscribe if you haven't already, guys. Like I said, we're right around the corner to that 1,000 mark, and we'll be doing some giveaways and stuff. So really excited for that. And thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Obviously, we're a little light on the information this week, but I think we had a fun time here discussing a lot of different cool things that did happen this week. Just some updates from me, guys. I will be filming a couple of videos this week. Not going to say what yet. It's a bit of a surprise, but there's going to be a couple things, some stuff from Mr. Mom and I, and as well as a solo video that I'm going to be doing that I've been looking into doing for a couple weeks now. And also I've been putting up some YouTube shorts. So if you guys like YouTube short content, definitely check out my channel for that. And also, once again, if you haven't already, head on over to 16 Kid if you want to get a deal. Use code Hotline for $10 off, $100 or more, and save yourself some money if you're going to be buying from 16 Kid in the near future. Ryan, what do you have going on the channel? Anything planned other than what I mentioned between you and I? Also, you could take the time also to tell everybody that you won't be here next week for next week's stream.
Yeah, I have a couple of YouTube shorts that I put up. Like I got the Bat Pod off Sideshow, so I did a quick YouTube short of that last night. And I just put up a video. I made a video yesterday about kind of like collecting in general that I think can relate to a lot of people. It was just more like about how I started with collecting, had nothing to do with Hot Toys, just at a younger age, and just kind of that. It was like a 10-minute video. So if you want to check that out, I think it's pretty relatable to anybody, just kind of talking about collecting journey and like how you got into it from the very beginning till now. So it's a video I just put up. And I'm always doing photos on my Instagram. Yeah, next week I won't be here. I'm actually going to Cabo with my wife on Tuesday. So I'll be gone all week. And it was really funny. I told you the story. Like I thought it, and my wife said it, and I'm like, I love you. I was going to Cabo. We're going like it's a work trip. She won like a trip for her work, so it's all inclusive, paid for. So we're not paying for anything. And I thought to myself, whoa, I wonder if I could bring a hot toy with me and do some figure photography out. I didn't say nothing because I'm like, it's kind of. And my wife was the one that said, she goes, "Are you going to bring a hot toy with you?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" And she goes, "There's going to be beaches." And I was like, "Who should I bring?" She's like, "You got to bring Aquaman." So I was like, Aquaman's going in the suitcase next week, and
told him he's got to keep her, man. Hold her tight.
I said our marriage gets a 5-year extension because of that. So she's like, "You got to wrap him in bubble wrap," and I was like, "All right, we'll take him." So I'll be doing some I have a very limited window to do some photos, but yeah, I'll be doing some stuff. I'll be putting up shorts and stuff for my vacation.
It's so awesome, man. I hope you guys have fun.
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, like I said, I have my own little goal. I think I'm at like 560 subs, so I'm just trying to hit like 600. So that's like my little personal goal. So just trying to creep my way up there slowly but surely, slow and steady.
Yeah, so the links are in the chat. Of course, OG is always firing off the links for all of our friends here on the panel. So definitely check everybody out. Subscribe to their channels if you haven't already, because it's well worth it. Next, Chris from Collecting Madness. I know you've been putting up some content fast over there, dude. What do you got going on Collecting Madness?
Same as Ryan, just doing whatever. I got some shorts up, and then recently today I actually put up the Mando from season 2, so the new one, the
Nice.
deluxe. So
I did not know that, so I'm just now hearing about that. I'll have to check it out, dude. So yeah, head on over and check out his Mando Deluxe. That's a great figure, and guys, it's in stock now. So what better time to watch a video on it to prepare yourself to get it in your own collection?
I'm so blown away by it.
Yeah,
that it's literally my figure of the year right now. Maybe I'm just hype on it, but everything that comes with it, how he looks, they just did awesome on him.
Yeah, it's real. It's excellent. I think it's a fantastic figure, and I'm very, very happy with it myself as well. So yeah, guys, definitely head on over to Chris's channel and check him out. Gambino, thank you so much for being here, dude. It was great to chat with you, and hope to see you next week. And also, Alex and everybody, thank you so much for being here. Tremble, Sluggin, OG, everybody. If I don't name your name, don't you worry, because we appreciate all of you. But thank you so much for being here, guys. It really was a great stream. It's always nice when we know we don't have a lot of information yet. We have a bunch of participation, a lot of people excited about stuff. That's when you know that our chat is full of the real ones. You guys are the real ones here tonight, so we appreciate you for sure. Sean, we kind of briefly talked about what you had going on the past week. You got those Mark V suit ups in, but anything else going on the channel? Anything you have planned?
I just did the 1-to-1 bust from Sideshow for the Mandalorian. And then, see, I'm supposed to have Quill coming. I have the Iron Man Mark 1, so that's going to be definitely a video. So I'll do that. I don't know what else I have coming. I haven't had any notice yet for Loki.
Oh, so that sucks. I mean, you'll probably get yours soon, though. But yeah, they did just send out those first notices. So Gap After Dark says new subscriber here. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Gap. Great to have you with us, my friend.
Yeah, these guys just leaving us all in the dust.
8-Bit Flea. Philip the Fool said, great stream, guys. Have a great night, everyone. Take care, Philip. Take care, 8-Bit. Take care, everybody who's on their way out. But yes, please check out Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare. Sean does some great little preview videos and such. And he also put a very informative video about collecting as a whole, where he actually shows his face in one of his videos. So you know he's being serious and being true to the heart when he shows his face. So definitely check out that video. I think Sean did a great job, and I think he was very sincere in that video. So if you want some advice on how to, of course, if you want some advice on how to navigate through the craziness right now, definitely check out that video. And also, I have a video on my channel as well about navigating through the secondary market. So if you take some advice, again, take some pieces of advice from everybody that you trust, and you can form a strong consciousness about how to collect moving forward. Yes, and Peyton, once again, thank you so much for being here. And Matt and all the other moderators in the chat, Some Guy, my friend Some Guy, OG fan, Insane One, guys. We can't do it without you, so thank you so much for being here. And finally, Cigars and Bacon. Can't have a Hot Toys Hotline stream without him. We appreciate you getting in here. I know you had some stuff to do before, but it's awesome that you're able to get in, especially a decent amount of time before we end it. So we appreciate
Always
you
a
being here
pleasure.
as always, dude.
Always have fun. And always
That's what we like to
grateful for the
hear.
invite.
Oh, absolutely. It's great to have you as always, dude. And I'm glad you're able to get in while we still had some juicy stuff to talk about. Sluggin16, good night to you as well. And of course, guys, Cigars is always over on Geeking Out, and OG did drop a link in the channel. Check out our friends at Geeking Out. You guys know we kind of go hand in hand with them. Those are our friends, and we have each other on each other's channels all the time. So you'll see a lot of carryover between panel members between the two channels. But
support the Empire.
You have to. Because that way we're stronger, as you support the Empire only grows stronger. So, But once again, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thanks so much, everybody in the chat, any new subscribers, current subscribers, likers. We appreciate you one and all. I hope you guys have a great night. Have a safe and fun weekend. I know there's a lot of bad weather. And again, please send some good luck Lane's way. Hopefully his power gets turned on tonight so he doesn't have to spend another night without it. But we're all pulling for him because he said it was like 34 degrees in his house. I can't even imagine. But everybody watching this on the replay, I hope you enjoyed the stream, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful night. And once again, enjoy your weekend, Connor, and be safe.
And thank you.
It's great to have everybody as always. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everyone.